Oh my god, Tangen's gonna shut him down. It's a double kill for Jim.
Oh my god, Jim!
Looking pretty good. It's gonna be a triple kill. Jim comes on fire. Jim comes on fire.
Angle, but couldn't land the shot. The dart goes to 2-piece. Oh my God!
Cada equipo ahí contesta trató de darle ese respetazo ahí, consigue eliminar a Pelusa y rápido se voltea y
tem ataque na marotagem. Belo ângulo dele. For him, he's gonna be able to take out. Oh my god! Oh no! He was down to 1 second on the clock. Já pegou bala na cara do Master. O Almairinho vai tentando fazer o primeiro. Da estátua vai tentar o tiro porrada e bomba! Vem! Clutch muito difícil de vencer, mas...
Square on the body that you hit. He no-scoped Raballo right there. He no-scoped.
termina eliminando a Jack. Igual queda solamente vivo por parte de repente, consigue la primera baja que es pesado. Se da cuenta que el otro jugador
What's good, everybody? We are back with another day of Mobile Mayhem. Got some more fantastic matchups for you guys. As always, joined by the one and only Domination. And we do actually have some big news for both NA and EU comp. So COD Mobile actually announced they're going to be running a total of $50,000 worth of tournaments between the two. And there are going to be 16 teams in each of the regions, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's gonna all be 18 plus. So the competitive scene is about to expand very quickly, and there's probably gonna be a lot of people showing up that a lot of you guys have never heard of before, so I'm looking forward to it. But That means there is that much more on the line for each and every one of the teams that you're going to see today, especially those that do have 18-plus rosters. So, for matchup number 1, we do have Vitro versus F4, the battle for 9th place. Lots on the line for these guys. Following that really, really good matchup is going to be Zygnus versus 11T. I'm super psyched for that one. Obviously, both of those teams in the top 4 battling it out, trying to get that number 2 spot. Following that, we're going to have Shreddit versus Nova Invictus. And then last but definitely not least, Old Tribe versus New Tribe. Tribe Gaming's season or spring roster up against their pretty much their champs roster from last year. So that one's definitely going to be fun to watch. We'll go ahead and take a look at the maps and bans for the first matchup real quick. So we're going to have Firing Range Hardpoint for game number 1. Raid, Search, and Destroy for game number 2. If we go to a game 3, it will be Standoff Domination. QQ9 banned by Vitro, and the HVK banned by F4. Probably a lot of PP19s and DRHs. But I believe we do have everybody in the lobby readied up and good to go. So we should be good to hop into this momentarily. Day, which of the matchups are you looking forward to most?
I honestly think I was gonna say Tribe versus Mayhem originally, but I think 11D versus Zygnus Elite will just be honestly too good of a match. Especially if 11D have Weird today. That's really what I would be looking for. He came in, had a pretty rough performance in Hardpoint, but then just absolutely murdered in Search and Destroy on Tuesday, and then also performed in the Domination. So we will be able to see him play for 11T once again, but off to a little bit of a spicy start. I actually think this matchup as well will potentially be easiest way to put it. Maybe a little bit of an overlooked match, just because it's two teams that are a little towards the bottom, but I think these two teams are actually pretty reasonably even as far as skill goes.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with that, and I think this honestly might have the best chance of going to a game 3 of any of the matches. We do see Minwoo already occupying that tower area, so obviously he's not going to let anybody climb up that ladder. Going to go ahead and hop on the hard point right here. Gives up the power position. Definitely an interesting move, but able to win the gunfight, and it does end up being worth it. Scott going to get beamed off the truck heady right there. Parallel trying to push around. Not going to be able to win the gunfight. Minwoo hitting shot after shot. What a feed right there. 7 kills on the board. He's got a Pred missile ready to go, and his team already over on P2. Just hitting some more shots right there. Scott's finally able to take him out, but the damage has been done. The set up for P2 is here for Vitro, or for F4.
Minwoo.
Oh my gosh, that's a high-value Pred missile right there. What was that, 3, 4 kills?
3 kills, but he got another kill just a couple seconds before that as well.
Wow. Yeah, he's definitely having himself a field day right now. He jumps in, gets another one. Finally going to get flanked by Parallel right there. 13 kills. Next highest is 5 from Dylan. So right now, Minwoo is just a one-man army up against Vitro.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Vitro, Tomb and Parallel have been kind of 2 of their more consistent players, and they're definitely struggling a little bit here early on. You know, Vitro is really weird in the sense that we've seen them go up against, like, some of the top teams and actually put up a really good fight, and then struggling a little bit versus F4 currently is definitely a little bit of a shakeup for them. We do have Dylan picking up the kill onto Scott. Parallel picks up a double kill, so maybe starting to find his groove. But with Minwoo up at 15, Dylan up at 8, this is going to be a tough fight for Vitro. Definitely would like to see them, and you know, this is one of the things I mentioned about them pretty consistently, is they don't really make strong rotations together. I feel like they have good players, they just maybe don't play the best together at all times. I mean, sometimes they look like a totally different team, but
Yeah. Definitely a very streaky team, but it's not really paying off for them right now, is seemingly everything going the way of F4. Minwoo already almost at 20 kills, and nobody else... Oh, Dylan! Dylan, his teammate, finally able to hit double digits right there and actually gets the break for some extra scrap time here as well, so... That's my phone falling on the floor for those of you who could hear it, but nothing to worry about. It is perfectly protected. Ooh, a little wallbang action going in for Dylan, able to get the kill onto Tomb, trying to get the break, and it is going to be F4 taking control once again. Still 50 seconds remaining right here. Lots of time to be gained. Dylan does have to be careful about that shock RC. Not going to be able to call it in, and everybody filing in single file from firing range right here. That should be some more easy kills from F4, as I don't really love that approach. 3 people stacking up on the low ground in a line on the way into the hard point. Just never really going to work out in your favor. At least not against any type of a skilled team. Minwoo with 24 kills on the board. His team holding down the hard point, and he's going to go ahead and take tower control as well, so he's going to be able to give information on Sped making that rotation. He's got eyes on the inside of the hard point. Obviously, they're going to give up the scrap time right here, but the power position and the information going to be highly valuable for F4 as he takes the concussion nade, but still keeps on trucking. It looks like F4 has another solid setup onto P1.
Scott was looking for the frag on Minwoo up into tower, but I think he shot it a little bit through the window there, so Minwoo's still in a pretty good spot up top, streaking away. I believe he's working on a second pass on an RC right now, so I don't think we're 150 away from a pred, but I could be wrong. Does pick up one there, picks up 2. Minwoo, well, I guess the assist for 1, but now working on a pred missile 150 away from that. We saw the last one be pretty big for him. Lax and Parallel trying their best over here on the side of Vitro, but Dylan, Fusion, and, well, specifically Minwoo are just having one heck of a day currently. Minwoo up at 27 kills. Can't really complain too much about that if you're an F4 fan.
And the one thing that could potentially keep Vitro in this is right now Ingenic just can't find anything. He's got 3 kills on the board. Next lowest, I believe, is 9 over with Tomb on Vitro. So if he keeps struggling like that, there's a chance that somehow, some way, Vitro could manage to find a win here. But with Minwoo just soaking up all the kills, he's got 30 right now. Man's got 30 kills, and we're only, like, maximum 3/5 of the way done. Could very well finish with around 50 or something close to it. So he's definitely just having an absolute field day, while Ingenic's not having fun at all. May potentially be having some connectivity issues. Finds kill number 5 on the board right there. Just kind of pre-firing away at the door, and we do see F4 continuing to climb upwards as the lead now extends to about 130.
Yeah, it is going to be a big turn for Parallel there. Gets the kill on to Minwoo. But thanks to some lovely hardpoint spawning, Minwoo is back in action. It does look like he is going to try to pick up the kill on to Sped there. Catch the corner. Now Minwoo's in a pretty rough spot here. He's got a bunch of people collapsing on him. But they just walk into bullets.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's what a 64-round mag will do for you. Just keep spraying, hope they walk into the bullets. If they do, free kills. Gets the assist over onto Wood as well.
That was pretty rough to watch.
Yep.
But 35 kills on the board for Minwoo. This is basically just the Minwoo show at this point, as far as this game goes. Does look like he's gonna try to make that rotation into the cryo. Not really sure what that was about, but gets caught up and gets killed. I think they have a pretty sizable lead that this hardpoint may not matter in the end. There's quite a bit of time going over to the side of Vitro, but you know, again, I think they're kind of just drawing it out at this point. The way Minwoo has been playing, and even Dylan starting to take off a little bit more as well, you definitely don't see a whole lot of possibilities coming out of Vitro. But if they can hold down a couple more hard points the way they did this one, they could make a pretty huge comeback. And Ingenic does find the kill onto Sped there, And Parallel, that's going to put him up into double digits, but still struggling way behind the pack currently. He's catching up to Scott with 13. But, ooh, Tomb.
Yeah, that was definitely a much-needed kill for them, and if they're going to be able to muster a comeback, now is the time. It looks like they're going to be able to actually get the break right here, but Fusion hopping up top, gets a few kills. Not enough to eliminate the remaining players for Vitro, but definitely weakens down that hard point. Hill is Dylan, gets the kill on the point. Gets concussed right there, but turns, wins another gunfight. It's a break going in once again for F4. And it's still a 100-point lead for them. So definitely nothing to worry about right now. They just got to play consistent, play their fundamentals, and at this point, all they really got to do is prone on the hill for a little bit longer, and they'll be able to get the dub. Only 15 more seconds needed, and looks like they'll be able to get 5 or 6 of that on the current hardpoint. Contest goes in for F4 right here. Dylan played it risky and going up in tower and somehow still manages to get in. Teammates having his back right there. Scott's going to get beamed. Tomb's going to get beamed. He's going to be able to get the frag as he actually jumps out right there. Minwoo with 39 on the board right now. Probably hoping that the game goes on a little bit longer as he gets a double kill with the nade. Seeming everything going his way right now. Another one. 43 kills. It is, like you said, the Minwoo show. And you can tell this guy just wants to go ahead and win the game. Hops on the point, finishes it out. 43 kills going in for him in game 1.
Definitely a performance unlike we've seen out of them before. But, again, this is some of the lower tier competition. And again, I'm not trying to say anything bad about these players. I think a lot of these players are actually exceptional. Just maybe the team chemistry isn't there. I'd definitely love to see more of them make a comeback for our next season, as well as we are kind of narrowing down to the end of this season, and both of these teams are kind of just fighting for bragging rights against each other at this point. I don't really think there's a world where either of them can get up to 65 points with 3 days left.
No, I don't think. What? No, I don't think so.
I mean, that would also require Trovo, Mayhem, Exiled, and Shreddit to all lose for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it really is a little bit of a hindrance. But
yeah,
again, I definitely think some of these players should return for future seasons for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, looking at the standings, so the need to get into 6th place, you gotta get to Trovo Mayhem. Doesn't Trovo Mayhem play either F4 or Vitro at some point in the next?
They play F4 in the next,
yeah,
I think,
so
Tuesday.
I'm not gonna say it's like guaranteed 20 points, but it seems pretty likely that they'll be able to get at least 15 in that matchup. And F4 is the only team that could potentially make their way up there. Now, it does look like they could get a 2-0 right here based on the way that one went. So that would put them up to 35 points. And if something crazy happens, they beat Trovo Mayhem. Maybe Trovo Mayhem gets knocked out, but it is definitely a really big long shot at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. F4 would need to come through with that game with performances like they had here.
Yeah.
I mean, Minwoo definitely double positive here. 43, 19, 14 assists. Solid game out of him. It's actually pretty funny because when you're talking about Ingenic being struggling at the beginning and Tomb being the next lowest with 9, ended up catching up to the rest of his team, only a couple kills behind, and score-wise finished on top of the team as well. So Tomb definitely turned things around in the second half, but it was a little too late for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, would definitely be nice to see Vitro get at least one map win this season. Based on how that game went, seems like it's pretty unlikely. We're getting ready to hop in to Search and Destroy over on, let me see what it is, Raid. I'm trying to think if there's anybody on Vitro that's really going to be able to make enough of an impact to change the game. I think Parallel's their primary sniper, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they've switched a couple times. I think Tomb historically has been their strongest search and destroy player. he actually makes surprisingly strong rotations, but again, it kind of struggles a little bit down, and the teamwork isn't always there for these guys. So definitely something to keep in mind as we move on into this match. Versus F4, actually played really exceptional here today. In their rotations were strong. They were together for large portions of the game. So good work out of them. Actually, just trying to pull up F4 real quick. Yeah, I mean, Minwoo definitely been the strongest search player for them. At a flat, even 1.0 KD, but obviously this is a little bit different of a matchup. You know, again, I kind of expected these teams to be a little bit more even, honestly. But F4 came through with a strong round 1 win in Hardpoint. I think 123 or so point win. So
Yep. Definitely looks like it will be a pretty quick game number 2 based on the way that that one went. But Vitro might have something up their sleeve. We'll have to wait and see, as it looks like they are getting a couple players adjusted. For those of you wondering what I'm doing, I got sun poisoning over the weekend, so I am currently just peeling off all of my skin. But we do have, following this one, I'm really excited for tonight's matchups, especially matchup number 2 and matchup number 4. For those of you who missed it, 11 versus Zygnus going to be matchup number 2, and Tribe Gaming versus Trovo Mayhem for matchup 4. Obviously, Shred has got a shot at making it into the quarterfinals as well. Once again, definitely a long shot with Nova Invictus being their matchup tonight. Nova Invictus definitely going to be favored going into that one, and they're also still in a position where they can potentially play for one of those top 2 spots. Also a long shot for them, as they do find themselves 20 points back of Zygnus Black. But if they can get a 2-0, if Zygnus Black, who actually has a bye tonight, that would actually tie them up. If Zygnus loses to 11, things start going their way a little bit, we could have some crazy things happening. But we got everybody in and ready to go for game number 2, F4 versus Vitro, the battle for 9th place. We do have Vitro pushing on through to the B site. Fusion going to drop off the start to Sped. And it's going to be Vitro pushing on into the A site with a one-man advantage. We do see the sniper in the hands of Lay X. 4 curves with the sniper out for F4 right now. And Lay X just missed what will probably be one of the easiest snipes he will ever find. Not going to be able to get the kill there, as Dylan is there. He's got his teammates back. The bomb's going to go down onto B. And it is going to be Vitro with the setup right here. We got Sped top of statue. And I think, oh, Dylan did not see Tomb's foot right there. Unfortunate timing. Tomb actually able to stay alive. That's going to be huge for Vitro. We got 3 players remaining for F4. Tomb takes out Minwoo, takes out Ingenic as well. Curves with the sniper in hand, left in a 1v4. Hits shot number 1. See if he can follow it up. Getting shot from the right by Parallel. It will be Vitro taking round 1.
yeah, I'd actually love to see this game go to a game 3. So honestly, just Vitro starting off with plenty of signs of life here is one step closer into that direction. Tomb was able to find, honestly, a really key double kill that I believe ended up saving Sped in the long run, who went on to get a another kill there. So definitely good work coming out of him so far. This round, however, looks pretty solid for F4. They do have a 4 versus 3 advantage. Well, never mind. Never mind.
That was 3 quick kills.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty good turnaround for F4, keeping their mind in the game here. So, excellent work out of them. A lot of times, this is really a balance of mind game. Even if you, lose a round, you've got to be able to bounce back and not be triggered, not, not be out there blaming the teammates. So.
We do see nades going over top as Vitro tries to make the push on into the A site. Obviously, one player over on that bomb head glitch, going to slow down that push significantly. Fusion still playing spawn. Curves on the inside of Kitchen holding down angles, and it is Minwoo basically pressuring all of Vitro from actually making it into the bomb site. I'm surprised they're playing this as defensively as they are, given the fact that they're on offense. Typically, this is not a location where you see that happening, but the game plan now becoming very obvious. The smoke goes in, and they're actually going to go for the reverse all the way over to the B site. Definitely not something we've really seen happen before. We'll see how effective it is. It looked like initially F4 got psyched out, but now everybody's sending their utility over top, pushing in. Fusion going to send his nade over, but they got trophy systems down, and actually a really solid strategy for Vitro right there. Dylan's up top. Curves and Sped finding a couple frags right there. Minwoo just finds a two-piece, and the strategy not going quite as well as Vitro probably had hoped, but a couple kills going in.
Parallel.
That's actually huge. Minwoo's all by himself. He's not going to be able to clutch, and what looked like it was going to be a disastrous fall apart for Vitro, clutched big time by Parallel.
Yeah, Parallel had a huge triple kill there to help the team get on through. They take the lead once again now, 2-1. Still anybody's game. Still a lot of search and destroy ahead of us at minimum 4 rounds, potentially 8 more as well. But we have smokes out at B. Good cover coming out of the side of Vitro. They're starting to push on up. A couple grenades come through from mid for F4, but none of them are going to find any sort of connection there. And oh man, Ingenic crawled around the corner right into the scope of Parallel there, or well, rather the iron sights, but
yeah, Parallel has been really, really good for them so far. Made some big plays. He hears the shots from Fusion up top. Doesn't even need to put down shots. The Sped's actually going to take him out. And F4 seeming to be lacking in the confidence department in the search and destroy right now. As I say that, they find a nice two-piece. Sped still on top of the head glitch, but the nade goes over top. That's not a good spot for him. Perfectly placed. Parallel's now all by himself, and wow. Minwoo turned that around big time in a really quick fashion for F4. It seemed like they were kind of falling apart, especially on the defensive side, but really big plays for them, and that's going to even things up at 2-2.
Yeah, back and forth game between these two teams. This is ideally how I would have expected, or rather liked, the first round to go. But again, you know, I'm glad they're here putting the work in. Doing a great job. The rotations on the side of Vitro are much tighter this time around, and that's definitely one of the key factors here in them putting up a much bigger fight. Parallel almost able to find a big kill there. Ooh, got kind of pushed out, got himself in a little bit of a tight spot, and allowed Minwoo to pick up a double kill. Layax is going to get the kill onto Dylan, but with Minwoo cleaning up over at the pool, that's going to be, for the first time this series, a 3-2 lead now for the side of F4.
I'm not gonna lie, that was not a pretty gunfight, but Minwoo comes out of it with 9 kills on the board through the first 5 rounds, so you gotta do whatever it takes to get to where you need to be. And I think that the game actually put the sticky grenade skin onto the PP19 right there. I think that might have been a visual glitch. It was actually a pretty sick one, as we do have F4 and Minwoo already pushing on into the A site. Pretty much no defense from Vitro right here, so they must be feeling very, very confident in their retake strategies as they do set up to push in from pool side. They do have one player up top as well, but they find themselves down a man, down 2 men, down 3. Tomb finally able to get the refrag onto Ingenic. Minwoo doesn't know somebody's on the inside, but he's actually going to drop as well. Now has location and information. Tomb wins a big gunfight right there, but Dylan is there for the refrag. And now F4 finds themselves 2 rounds away from closing this out in a 2-0.
Yeah, it's been a pretty big game for them. They had the 125-point lead in Hardpoint. Struggled a little bit the first couple rounds of Search and Destroy, but seems like they're starting to get their bearings straight here. Minwoo, obviously a pretty large performance in Hardpoint, and is having a pretty significant impact here as well, with 9 kills on the board. Fusion not too far behind with 7, but It has definitely been a struggle day for Ingenic, who 6 rounds in, still sitting on 0. Not the most ideal position to be, but with a couple early picks coming through for the side of F4, is going to give them a 5 versus 3 player advantage. Tomb is also very, very injured. Fusion picks up another kill onto Parallel there. Tomb almost gets dropped, is going to live with 4 HP, gets the turn onto Fusion, and steps into the iron sights of Dylan, and not far behind, Minwoo also finds the headshot. 5-2 lead going to F4, and this might be the final round of this series.
Yeah, I just sat there and watched Minwoo spray for like a solid minute straight. Still didn't run out of ammo the entire time. And that's what the PP-19 will do for you. Is he sends nades over top onto basketball court once again. Good trigger discipline from Toombs. He's able to win the initial gunfight. Not able to follow it up though, and it is going to be a 4v4 as we push into the end of the round with Fusion finding another frag right there. F4 found themselves at the advantage. Scott able to get a frag onto Ingenic, who is still yet to pick up a kill. I don't know if it's connectivity issues or if it's just not his day. And Fusion going to be the only person remaining for this team, but he is going to be able to pick up the sniper. So he's got some options. Could potentially find a pick right here. Saw one player, takes him out right there, just like that. He's in a 1v1. Could potentially clutch this up in round number 8. Parallel now making the rotation in through mid. And that's probably not really where Fusion expects him to be, especially with the bomb down over right outside of Bank, I believe. And I think he's actually going to be able to pick it up. Let me look at the map. I don't really understand what the game plan was, and it could have actually worked out perfectly. Oh, he's got a sniper out. He's working those tight angles. He's got a sniper. Parallel, you psycho. I don't really understand the game plan. The bomb looking like it's going to go down over onto A, but Parallel with the perfect push on in. And he is going to be able to get some extra defuse points as Vitro stays alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, that was a big clutch up for Parallel there. They would need to find the next 3 rounds pretty much flawlessly, as they cannot afford to give any ground to F4 at this point. Minwoo up at 10, Fusion having a heck of a game up at 12. Ingenic still struggling down at 0, so he can pick up a couple kills this round. It could definitely help his team close things out. Does look like, unfortunately for the side of Vitro, Parallel might be struggling with some connection issues there, but he will get reconnected. I am so confused.
Yeah, tough to say. The bomb's going to go down onto A. And I was thinking it was connectivity issues for Ingenic as the reason he's not playing, but I just witnessed him throwing a sticky nade up onto the roof. So I think for him it might just be one of those days, trying to lay down some shots on the Parallel up top. A man down is Vitro. Not able to find lay X's curves, is already waiting with the sniper in hand. Parallel up there as well, and the shots just not connecting, but a one-man advantage for F4 continues. Parallel going to be the only person remaining. Minwoo finds the frag. Ingenic, fortunately enough, able to find 1 kill before the game and the match ends, and does manage to avoid the goose egg.
Yep. Ingenic able to put one up, so his team and chat cannot make fun of him, but everyone has an off day, can't complain too much. Fortunately for him, Minwoo and Fusion specifically were just doing absolutely great. Minwoo ending that game at the top of his team with 12 kills for him, 12 for Fusion as well, and then 7 and 7 apiece for Dylan and Curves. Definitely helping it make things a little bit more manageable. Tomb, Parallel, both put up a really solid fight on the side of Vitro with 9 and 10 kills respectively. But with Sped down at 4, Scott down at 3, and Lax down at 1, just didn't have the numbers to really push back. And, you know, it's a little unfortunate because I really would have liked to see this game go to a game 3, but that is going to be it for match 1.
Yep. Solid closeout for F4 right there to pretty much secure themselves the 9th place spot. So anything to not come in last. Obviously, Vitro could pull off something miraculous, but still down at 0 points. obviously the odds are not really in their favor. We are getting ready to hop into one of my favorite matchups tonight, and the one that Day thinks it's going to be our most entertaining one. We are going to have 11 versus Zygnus. Day, why do these two make for such a good matchup?
Well, one, you always just have that LATAM rivalry between the two of them, which makes things just exciting in general. But as well, I think these two teams have a lot of potential to go back and forth. I mean, you want to look at the Zygnus Elite or Zygnus Esports roster and think, okay, well, this is clearly the stronger roster. But we have seen, areas where this team has struggled a little bit with their consistency. They actually have struggled less since the merger with Zygnus from when they were NL. So maybe they'll bring a little bit stronger of a fight against 11. I mean, not that again, this is the team that beat Tribe, so I'm not trying to talk down to them or anything. But 11 have also been playing exceptionally well. And again, we did get the return of Wero on Tuesday, and he had a massive impact for them. So we'll have to see if that is going to be the case this time around. Definitely cannot sleep on either of these teams. If you do, you will get punished for your mistakes.
Yeah, to be honest, I kind of forgot that most of the Zygnus roster is actually former NL, so this is always one of the better matchups of the season anytime we get this roster. We do have a couple differences. Obviously, S-Thug, formerly of, formerly of Zygnus. But this is going to make for a really competitive matchup. I believe Tatio and Envoy, the two from that original NL roster. I think Irving was on that roster as well, going up against 11, who is just consistently one of the top teams in Mobile Mayhem. And we are working on getting both of them loaded in. We'll go ahead and run through our maps and bans before we hop into the game. Starting us off, we got Hackney Yard Hardpoint, followed by Standoff Search and Destroy. If we go to a game 3, it will be Raid Domination, bans on the QQ9 and the PP19. For the most part, those have been pretty standard, and the expected bans for most teams, as those are pretty widely considered to be the two strongest guns in the game. Nothing too surprising there. 11 banning Domination on Hackney Yard, and Zygnus banning Search and Destroy on Tunisia. That one's been a pretty common ban, I feel like, as it does feel like one of the more specialized Search and Destroy maps. So no Hardpoint bans, which is always an interesting one, and definitely should make for a great matchup. Also, just a friendly reminder, episode number 2 of Bobby Talks over on the COD Mobile Esports channel is going to go up in 13 minutes. So if you guys want to check that one out in between games, it will be there. And I believe we also have the Renetti dropping in the game in 13 minutes as well.
Is that going to give us any issues?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be, like, OP.
Well, no, I mean, as far as... Are we going to have to update in the middle of...
Oh, no. They always do the updates in the middle of the night before, so the content's already in the game. They just make it available to
Turn
everybody.
it on. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, so if I had to guess, we'll probably see some legendary Renettis in play in the Trovo Mayhem versus Tribe matchup.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I have bad memories of that pistol.
Why?
They were called the B-23Rs, and Akimbo was just disgusting.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy that it seems like, from all indications, it doesn't seem like it's going to be Akimbo Renettis coming into the game. From everything the leakers have seen, there are no game files for an Akimbo, so Akimbo anything is something that basically the entire COD Mobile community has come to fear with, between the Akimbo Fenix and the Akimbo Deagles. Just some ridiculous stuff, but I think the Renetti should be fairly balanced.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And if it's not, then we ban it.
I was just plugging some updated numbers in for Zygnus Elite. who currently, again, still kind of drowned out by Cheto's one-day performance that makes him the only green hardpoint player. But overall, team performing pretty well here. Obviously, we mentioned the pickup of S-Thug has been pretty solid overall for them. We do have Awaken on the lineup here for today as well, and we haven't really seen a ton of him, both on Zygnus Black as well as moving over to Zygnus Elite. So, kind of got to take his numbers with a grain of salt, but not too bad. Rocking a 1.28 KD for Hardpoint, 1.0 for Search and Destroy, and a 1.24 for Domination.
All right. It does look like Wiru's going to be joining us for 11D, so that was kind of the player we figured was going to be the X factor for them, and definitely going to make this lineup extra spicy. I see Super in 11D right now, who I believe is either the manager or the owner for the team and has not actually played with them all season long.
Correct.
This would be an interesting time for him to make his first appearance, but
This would be a horrible time.
hey, he could be cracked out of his mind. Who knows?
Could be.
We've never
Could
seen
be.
him play.
I'm not gonna.
Okay, he left,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
don't think he's going to be making his first appearance.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. As far as the
I
starting
don't know if he can be
roster.
cracked out of his mind enough to fill in for Zai.
Touche. But you never know. There's always one underdog that you never expect to show up, and then you get a washy, and bada bing, bada boom, he's just shredding everybody. As far as the starting roster for Zygnus, we do have Awaken, Envoy, Tatio, S-Thug, and Irving. It's pretty much been their go-to roster for the last, I believe, ever since the merge for the most part. And then over on 11D, we've got Diego, Yuji, Weru, Just, and definitely expecting for Zai to be joining relatively soon. So hopefully we will see him joining up momentarily. And at that point, we'll be good to go for match number 2.
Yeah, we really haven't, like I was mentioning earlier, we haven't seen too much Awaken. I believe he is filling in currently for DeCarla, who has been their other starting player. So we'll have to see where that goes. Still mega disappointed. We haven't really got any Cheto love this season, so chat, make sure you guys let Zygnus know we want Cheto back.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks to bench somebody else, but we've only seen Cheto play one game, so.
True. I mean, he's basically an icon in Mobile Mayhem at this point, so not bringing him back is just a disservice to the entire community, you know?
I agree. So, hopefully we'll get Zai in here shortly. I would definitely expect that's going to be their player filling in for 11T. Might actually be able to just confirm it if we peek down into their chat. Okay. Nobody there yet. So.
Well, that's never a good sign. Oh, somebody just joined.
Yep, somebody joined. It looks like Wale.
Oh, that's actually big for 11D. So we haven't
Yeah.
seen him in a few weeks, but in the games that Wally has played, he has been an absolute monster.
Yeah, he's done pretty phenomenal. It'll be interesting to see if the kind of extended break that we got out of him is going to affect his gameplay at all. We've really only seen him, what was that, week 1 that Thursday, and then week 2 on Tuesday. So we've only seen him actually play 2 days. But put pretty solid numbers up those 2 days, rocking a 1.71 overall KD, 1.74 in Hardpoint, 1.31 in Search, and a whopping 1.88 in Domination. Might actually be the highest. But again, kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. Can't give it a ton of credit with only a few games played, but
Definitely been good in those games that he has been there. So
yeah.
it's
I mean,
not,
which
not a
as we
bad
expect.
substitution. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad sub. I see people in chat asking if any guns are banned. So the way that bans work in Mobile Mayhem is we have specific guns that are baseline banned full time, and then we also allow one gun ban for each team. For the most part, the individual team bans that we see, at least in the current meta, are the PP19 and the QQ9. As far as base guns that are banned, the NA45, the Akimbo perk in general, the Man-O-War, shotguns, LMGs, and I believe the Arctic 50 is banned as well. So those are all, that covers the majority of the weapon bans, as well as operators too.
Yep, all operators banned. Not one per person or not one per team. Straight up banned. So we do have Wally in the lobby as we get loaded in. You definitely would expect this to be a pretty strong game for Zygnus, however. We have mentioned time and time again, Bobby, that for some reason this map is just S-Thug's playground.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if that is going to have that kind of lasting impact that we expect it to. Also, we're going to be keeping our eye on Wally to see if the break that he had is going to affect him at all. And clearly, it's affected him big time. He forgot how to move.
Okay, that's less than ideal. We do see him hopping on in. S-Thug actually switching away from that red dot. Fennec pulling out the AK-117 off the start. Not able to get a frag, but Awaken is there for Zygnus. Finds 2 for his team. We do have Diego trying to make the push on in. Awaken gets the major assist and the kill. He is going to drop. Definitely big plays going in for them. It is just sliding on into the point. Free fires the corner. Able to find a frag. That's number 3 for him. But it is Tatio up top. The former Mobile Mayhem MVP, always where he needs to be. And it is going to be 11 sliding in. Just anytime you're on P1 with the current spawns on this map in Hardpoint, it's just going to be absolute chaos in P1. We can see only about 10 seconds remaining, and only 34 seconds have been actually taken up. So absolute chaos, but Zygnus in control of spawns, set up for P2. They've definitely got the advantage right now, especially with S-Thug over on the side, holding down this car head glitch. They got players on the point, and you couldn't really ask for a better setup right now. Able to hit a couple shots onto Just as well. Able to get a frag there on to Yuji, and this is going to be a really tough break for 11 to find with the setup that Zygnus has right now.
Another one of those kind of exciting rivalry moments between these two teams is that obviously UG is formerly of NL, which is now this Zygnus Elite roster, so just adds a kind of extra degree of rivalry to it. Right now it is Zygnus in the lead, but 11T are trying to make the break. About 20 seconds left on the Hardpoint. Just is picking up a couple kills down there on the bottom right side. Almost able to find Irving, but Irving is going to gun him down. And that is going to extend the lead for Zygnus quite a bit. They're sitting over 50 points positive right now.
Yeah, that was probably the best P2 hold I have ever seen in a game of Hardpoint Hackney Yard. Yuji just completely turned on Awaken right there. That was filthy. I mean, with your players making those types of moves, looking like even with the 55-point deficit, 11 going to be able to set up for P3, and they definitely got the spots that they need to in order to make this happen. Envoy going to slide in, gets taken out. Irving's there for the refrag, refrag. It is just winning the final gunfight, but nobody on the hill right now. And honestly, the longer you can keep it so that nobody's gaining points right here, the better for Zygnus. It seemed like 11 was going to be the team with the map advantage and the setup, but they've not really been able to find a whole lot, and it's actually going to be Envoy hopping on to find some more time for Zygnus.
Yeah, and again, this 11T roster has actually done exceptional these past couple weeks. Just Tuesday alone, we saw them make a pretty big comeback up against Nova and Victus. So we'll have to see if they're able to come through with that same level of fire. Right now, they're down over a complete hard point, so that is something to keep in mind. Just is going to hop up there, pick up one, but get picked off by the other. And we do currently have a Levity on the hard point with about 45 seconds remaining. That would be enough to put them just about 10 points away from tying it up. But again, this is not going to be an easy matchup for them by any means. Wally, again, struggling a little bit. I think a lot of it just because of the hiatus or the break that we've seen out of him, but sitting down at 4 kills, definitely not ideal. Counterpart-wise, over on the side of Zygnus, Awaken was the first one out of the gate, picking up 5 kills, and is now falling behind the pack, sitting at 9. So I have to see who's able to turn things around here, because the gap is definitely narrowing as a big hold for 11 comes through. Not quite a full hard point, but pretty close. It's going to put him about 25 points shy of tying things up. So still a lot of potential between these two teams. Just is sitting kind of up by that top window. I would have liked to see him challenge Roof a little bit more there, but Envoy is going to get the assist. Wero does pick up a kill onto S-Thug, who currently is tied with Tio and Weru for kills, and it's a little surprising to see Weru and Hardpoint coming up on 20 kills, and Yuji and Wally struggling behind a little bit. Usually, Respawn specifically is where we expect Wally and Yuji to be kind of the anchored base around, but, you know, we've said it multiple times, Bobby, if Weru has a good Hardpoint game, typically the Search and Destroy is pretty solid too.
Yeah, that is for sure. And following the really good hardpoint hold for 11, it's going to be another big one going in for Zygnus. So not really a whole lot of breaks outside of the P1 that we saw right there. S-Thug, 24 kills on the board, but he doesn't have the right score streaks in. So he's not going to be able to use any score streaks throughout the game, as currently Preds and Clusters are the only ones you're allowed to use. Weru sliding the corner, like you said, we don't typically see him really pop off in the respawns, but top fragging for his team with 25 to Tio, the only person ahead of him right now, and that is not surprising to see at all. Weru missing a lot of shots right there, somehow still able to come through with the frag, but it is going to be hardpoint control going over to Zygnus once again. Just is able to get the initial push, but not able to find the break. And Zygnus, even though there's not specific points outside of like P2 that they've been like absolutely crazy, playing this really fundamentally well, holding really well, on the points where they don't have the advantage, they've not been able to find the breaks, but on the converse, not really giving up any breaks to their opponents. And we're probably going to see this lead moving up close to 80, if not 90 points by the time we head on over to P2. It does look like 11's got the setup over here, and we could see kind of an opposite situation of what we saw previously if 11's able to hold well right here. But with S-Thug playing the way he is, finds a two-piece right there, it's not going to be easy for 11T.
Oh, absolutely not, but we knew that going into this matchup. This kind of fusion merged Zygnus Elite or Zygnus Esports roster is honestly just full of superstars, you know, combined with previous members of ML. S-Thug, who obviously showed up in a big way in Mobile Mayhem, especially this season. I believe he currently still holds the kill record, whether or not it be thanks to some hardpoint respawn changes. So I have to see where he's going to be throughout the remainder of this game. And I just got disconnected.
All right, looks like I might be solo casting the rest of the game. We
Throw
do have
up, on Discord.
Yeah. I will do that. Screen. There we go. Go live. Bada bing, bada boom. And it is going to be 11 with a. They're the ones that are able to get the solid hold on P2 right there. So closing the gap a little bit. It moves from around 85 down to 60, but it is Zygnus set up for next. And we do see shots going across. A big triple feed actually goes in for 11. That's going to allow them to take control of the hard point. And, oh, Wiru misses the hop-up. That's actually a massive missed opportunity for 11. That would have given them power position and the ability to beam some people. He is going to be able to make the rotation around, but valuable hard point time going in. Envoy is going to get taken out. Just makes the push on for 11T once again, keeping the lead around 60, but they got to start closing the gap, and they got to do it quick. We see them surpassing the 60-point mark right now and continuing to take downward, just with a massive double kill right there. They needed that so very badly. Tatio is going to be able to push in and secure the scrap time for Zygnus right here, but that should allow for 11 to go ahead and set up onto P4 right here. And we do see the rotations going in, as it is an absolute chaos dumpster fire inside here. Tatio pushes in. Kill number 38 for him. 11 has the point. Don't know how long they're going to be able to hold it. They get wiped off, and things looking really good for Zygnus as they try to close this out.
Yeah, we may actually want to jump into a listen-in real quick, Bobby. This is the two LATAM teams, so let's jump into Zygnus, since
All right.
we don't jump into them very often.
Got your main door. I got your main door.
Puerto me.
Got one.
Juan.
Vean eso, no maten por favor, vean eso, por favor, cabrón. Vean eso.
¡Qué buena!
Qué buena, papis. Vean eso, por favor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The world's shortest listen-in, as we do have Zygnus taking the win right there. Despite a couple solid pushes from 11, just not quite enough. And Wally definitely struggling in his return to Mobile Mayhem. 20 kills, 19 for Yuji, which is definitely not something that we're going to see very often. But not at all to take away from the performance that we saw from Zygnus. Especially the one that really sticks out to me is the initial P2 hold, where they pretty much went untouched for the entire hardpoint. That was one of the more impressive hardpoint things I've seen, especially given the new spawns and how much more difficult it is to hold a hard point with those new spawns.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, I definitely want to give a pretty big shout out to Awaken here, who, again, we haven't really seen him too much, either when it was back on Zygnus Black or since the merger. We haven't really seen much of him. And he came through for the team pretty big here today early on. Really was one of the factors that gave them that full hold on the P2 rotation. He did dwindle off a little bit towards the mid game and wasn't keeping up with the likes of S-Thug and Tatio, but how many people really keep up with the likes of S-Thug and Tatio? So you got to kind of give him a little bit of a cushion. I mean, he wasn't really behind the rest of the team much. I mean, a couple kills behind Envoy and Irving, but again, had a really, really great out of the gate performance that I think, if anything, gave a lot of momentum over to the side of Zygnus. So phenomenal plays out of those guys. No new kill record for S-Thug, but still a solid game for Zygnus. Nonetheless, just a little bit shy of a 100-point win for them there in Hardpoint. And that is going to bump us over into our Search and Destroy, which is going to be on Raid.
Yep, definitely going to make for an interesting matchup, especially with the absence of Zai for 11T. So, typically, yes, Wiru is usually the most important player for them in Search and Destroy, but given the importance of snipers in Call of Duty Mobile, and especially snipers in Search and Destroy, the absence of your primary sniper is definitely going to be really felt by 11T. And with S-Thug here for Zygnus, you got to think they're probably going to be favored, at least off the start, in Search and Destroy once again. I think we've seen Wally sniping for 11T before, but it's not something that we've seen super often. So we'll have to wait and see who's going to be in that role for them. But definitely looking like there's a good chance that Zygnus could pull out the 2-0, especially if S-Thug is on his game with the snipers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And when we put the weight on Wiru as far as his Search and Destroy prowess goes, the numbers really stand for themselves. Wiru leads the entire tournament in Search and Destroy KDA currently with a 2.36. And the next closest is Washi with a 2.12, and then it drops off heavily from there down to Fish with a 1.8, so out of the twos completely. So just goes to show how strong of a Search and Destroy player Wiru has been for them. On Tuesday, we did see him make his return, and despite a pretty rough hardpoint, which he pulled out a 16, 28, and 10, bounced right back into Search and Destroy with a 13, 2, and 2, and then closed out the night with a 26, 20, and 6 domination game. So definitely been a pretty key player for the side of 11T. But you are absolutely right. Struggling around the not having a sniper may be pretty rough for the side of 11T in this matchup. I believe this was supposed to be... Maybe not. Maybe I looked at the wrong game.
Yep, it is going to be standoff, search, and destroy. And it's actually going to be just... Well, we had Just and Wally both pulling out the sniper. It looks like Wally actually switching over to the AR and the concussion nade going over top. A chaotic entry into the point, to say the least, is 3 players already dead for 11T, and just barely gets away by the skin of his teeth. Gonna try to get up to top blue, see if he can find an angle to hit a sniper right here, but a dominant entry round right here for Zygnus. And actually, I think he got spotted on the hop-up right there. Envoy had the angle. He's going to round the corner. Just doesn't hit the snipe. And Zygnus steamrolling through round 1.
Yeah, that was a incredibly dominant first round for Zygnus. I mean, only 1 kill picked up by 11T. It was Wally, but we will have to see if 11T are able to bounce back a little bit more. We have Just with the sniper, as you mentioned, is going to get the opening kill onto S-Thug, as well as Wally finds Awaken. So this is the best chance for 11T to start pushing an advantage here. Envoy is going to find the long-range kill onto Just the DRH there. Was it a no-stock DRH?
I think it's a blueprint with just a really
Blueprint,
weird look. And Envoy's actually going to get beamed off top of tank. So 11D looking a lot stronger right here, as they had a pretty slow round in round number 1. It's going to be Tatio all by himself. He is able to pick up a sniper and reposition as he actually finds first frag onto Wally, but Yuji is there. The Fennec just too quick, and that will allow 11T to even things up at a 1-1. As we do get ready to move into round 2. Nobody really breaking out big time. Envoy and Tatio definitely with a solid start over on Zygnus, but 11T fighting back really strong in round 2.
Yeah, I mean, really big bounce back, and, you know, that's one of those key things that we have to look at specifically, these upper tier teams, is the ability to bounce back from a incredibly defeating loss like they had in the first round. We do have Envoy pushing up. That's a difficult head glitch to challenge.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty glad he backed out of that one there, because that was going to be certain death. Facing 2 players over a bomb head glitches. Not ideal. It would be the couple kill trade coming through there. It is now down to Just, but S-Thug is going to find the return kill onto him and take the 2-1 lead for Zygnus once again.
Yeah, S-Thug pretty much read that one like a book, knew exactly where to look, and Zygnus able to take their second round of the game. Going ahead to hop up on top of Van right here. Nate's going over top, so you got to be careful, but obviously the trophy system going to protect him, and actually misses the shot onto Diego. That's some helpful information for 11T, as they are going to go ahead and send out nades, but expecting trophy systems to be back. Oh, no! Oh, they didn't put down their trophy systems, and that's going to cost 11T a first blood right there. S-Thug looking for the hop-up snipe as well. Once again, not an easy shot to hit. Wally going to be able to stay alive, and 2 kills go in for 11T, but a trade goes in as Awaken takes out Wiru right there. Envoy going to be able to get a couple of trades and a big 2-piece for him. That's going to leave Just all by himself once again. Envoy right on the backside, just tries to hit the hip fire, gets a few shots in, but S-Thug is there, able to save his teammate, and that is a third round going in for Zygnus. And things starting to look a little bit dicey for 11. They need to turn things around right here. You can't let yourself get in too big of a hole, especially against a team like Zygnus.
Yeah, and again, this Zygnus roster has been primarily one of the more dangerous teams this season. They are the first team in 2 seasons, almost 2 full seasons, to beat Tribe. So that is a pretty sizable feat itself.
S-Thug, I'm trying to understand. I'm assuming the guy that he just shot was one shot, but he just one-tapped somebody with a J358. The only other possible explanation to that is maybe he got a lucky head tap, but either way, that was just a ridiculous play for him that I thought was pretty much 1 in a million. Somehow managed to pull it off. Where's going to be all by himself. Typically the carry for 11 in Search and Destroy. Not really having a great game so far. Only 2 kills on the board as he and the team struggling a good bit right here. He's got information on where Irving is, but he's not going to be able to hit the shots. And we now find 11 down 3 rounds in Search and Destroy. And if they lose this, it is going to be a 2-0, which would pretty much all but secure the second place spot for this Zygnus main team.
Yeah, my game crashed again, Bobby, and I can't get back in the game, so hopefully you can throw me up a solid window capture here.
Alright, it is up.
I'm going to restart my iPad while we're in this game, so.
Yep. No first blood going in quite yet. Where is going to get spotted over by Statue. Both snipers still alive, usually trying to hold down that back alley angle. S-Thug playing pretty aggressive, especially for a sniper right here. He's peeking across boxes on mid. Not going to be able to get the wall bang, and Just does get the first blood. We get a trade, and Void drops Wally right there. That is going to be the loss of a sniper player for 11T. So they're going to be looking to pick up the sniper if they can. And it looks like Yuji was able to do just that. Ooh, not able to hit shots onto Tatio. That would have been crucial if he could make it happen, but it is going to be 11 getting the bomb plant down, where it takes out Irving right there. 2 huge consecutive plays, and just has to hold down Deli. We see Wiru with a look across over to Tank, or Diego with a look across to Tank, and Wiru looking into back alley. S-Thug gonna drop right there. Huge play. And wait, Tatio. No way, he gets the 2-piece right there. This could be disaster for 11T. They had every opportunity to win that. The bomb's down over on B. Just trying to be as... Oh, he's got... I mean, he has to play this so badly in order to lose right here. Tatio doesn't want to make the play. Just barely ends up playing it right and avoids disaster for 11T right there.
Yeah, Just played that really smart. He played it safe, just played time, which is absolutely what he needed to do, and came through strong for the team. It's going to make it a still rough comeback, but definitely possible. It is 4-2 currently, with the lead still in favor of Zygnus. And unfortunately for 11T, Wiru not having the same search and destroy impact that he had on Tuesday's games. He does have 4 kills on the board, which is not bad for his team. But man, Zygnus are just walking through. Oh, but Wally is going to find the headshot onto Awaken there.
That was
if he's going to...
Yeah, I don't think he spotted the player on the inside right there. Didn't realize S-Thug was up on the tractor with a sniper in hand. And it is now Zygnus 1 round away from closing things out, despite the struggles from Irving. Not really hurting them too very much, as we do have Diego on the flip side with only 1 kill on 11T. And it's just been too much firepower, and an interesting round for 11T to go aggressive right here, and it backfires big time. A triple for Irving. Awaken finds another. Immediately shut down is 11T, and Zygnus with the dominant search and destroy win 6-2.
Yeah, that was a great performance coming out of Zygnus there. Again, this is kind of what we expect out of this roster. I would have liked to see 11T fill the gap a little bit better, but again, since the merge of Zygnus and NL, this has been a roster to beat for sure. Again, they are the one team in 2 seasons to beat Tribe in a series, not just a map, in a series. So that is a big accomplishment in its own. And then putting up numbers like they did here today, S-Thug 9-2-1 to Tio 9-5-3, Envoy with 7 kills, Irving with 5, Awaken with 6 was a great performance. Diego struggled down 1-7, and Wiru struggled way more than we expected him to. Again, if he would have came through with a performance like they had on Tuesday, we definitely could have seen this get pushed to a game 3, but it just wasn't in the cards. That is going to be the 2-0 win for Zygnus, and Zygnus definitely could have used those points, so I'll have to see at the end of the night where they are in the standings, because again, that second place and I mean potentially first place still up for grabs, and first and second place do offer your team a bye in the quarterfinals. You'll jump directly to the semifinals, which gives you essentially just one less chance to have a bad day and get knocked out early on. So definitely a valuable position to be in.
Yep, that was. I've seen teams do that multiple times before on standoff, search and destroy, where it comes down. They're like at match point, whether it's 5-2, 5-3, 5-4. Typically not at 5-5, but they just go ahead and full send it to the A site, and it just backfires every time. And it's mind-boggling to me that people try it over and over again. But they straight up. Irving, going into that round, had 2 kills, and he came out of the round with 5 kills. And those 3 kills came in a span of probably under 3 seconds. It's just, you're at so many disadvantages when you try to send your entire team through. Obviously, you can get smokes, you can get nades over top and everything else, but there's so many places that you can set up over on that A site, and it just doesn't make a ton of sense to make a full on team push like that, and it backfired big time. So we'll see if 11 can bounce back, but that is definitely a much needed win for Zygnus Elite, as that's going to be 20 points for them. I didn't realize Zygnus Black's actually 5 points ahead of them. So
Yes.
Obviously Zygnus Black does have a bye tonight, and that works out very much in favor of Zygnus Elite, but that puts them 15 points ahead. Depending on the matchups that we've got next week, it could very well still end up being a battle between Zygnus and Zygnus Black for who's going to end up in that first place or second place spot, or maybe in first place, depending on how Tribe plays tonight.
Yep, we do still have Tribe versus Trovo Mayhem ahead of us, so depending on how that match goes, you would expect Tribe to win. They bounced back from their loss against Zygnus Esports, up against a bit easier of a team, arguably, but they came through against Exiled and looked really good on Tuesday. However, Mayhem have looked really good the past couple days as well, so we will have to keep an eye on that matchup because, again, a lot of it can be part of the mental game, and if Tribe don't show up and Mayhem do, Tribe definitely could be in potential to lose their first place spot, especially since they have Mayhem today, they have a bye next week on Tuesday, and then they go up against 11T on Thursday of next week. So some of their more difficult matchups still ahead, as well as a week that they're not going to pick up any points. So they can't afford to slip up here.
Yeah, definitely can't look up or overlook the next matchup, as well as we do have Shreddit and Nova Invictus ahead. And I think this could very well end up being a good matchup as well. Nova Invictus has struggled a good bit in their past few matchups, so they had a really strong start to the season. I think they were in second place at one point, but have since fallen off and over in the standings fallen down to fifth place right now. Obviously, Shredder actually started the season in first place, but I believe their first two matchups were against Vitro and F4, who are currently in 9th and 10th place. So they did fall off a little bit themselves, but they are in a position where they could potentially make their way into the playoffs if they play this properly and Trovo Mayhem has enough blunders. So definitely excited to see this one, especially as Shredder has significantly improved throughout the season. And they're definitely going to be trying their best to get one of those top 6 spots.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, I feel like our top 6 are pretty much locked in at this point, with the exception of the order, right? So that's kind of where I'm still at odds with it. Obviously, I think, based on their performances, I would expect Tribe to finish in first place. As you mentioned, the fight for second is close between a handful of teams, and with Zygnus Black having a bye today, with Tribe having a bye on Tuesday, we'll have to see where things go, but that's really going to be the only 2 teams that aren't picking up points in the top half. Mayhem are currently down in 6th. They have Tribe today, and they have a bye on Tuesday, so they need to pick up points here because their last matchup will be against F4, which you would expect them to come away with the win. But again, F4 is one of those teams that when they show up in a big way. We've seen players on that roster like Minwoo, Curves. We've seen good games out of Ingenic as well, but today was not his day. But also Raph has been one of their strong players. So depending on the roster we have that day for both teams, since obviously Trovo Mayhem have had some minor roster issues the past couple days, but I do believe we'll have all of their main roster here for the night.
Yeah, I know Little B has been unbanned. I believe that was taken care of at some point yesterday, so unless there is some other type of miscue, it seems like they should have their starting roster, and given that a lot of these teams have played on the same team together in the past and actually won the North American Championship together, you got to think both of them are going to be giving it their all to see who's going to come out on top right here. We are waiting on a couple more players to join up, and by a couple more players, I mean all the players for both teams, so we're going to go ahead and run an ad real quick, and we'll be back in a second. And would you look at that perfect timing, just as we run the ad, we get the majority of both teams loaded in. We do have Coach Image in the lobby for Nova, so we know, obviously, he's the coach. On Tuesday, he was also a player, and definitely struggled significantly, as you would really expect out of any coach, since typically their role is not playing the game. Ideally for Nova Invictus, you would like to see them getting somebody else loaded in. I think Hua was the player that we expected to be there that was not there. We don't see him in the lobby yet.
That's who we would like to see.
Yeah.
But they've clearly had some roster retention issues with both Hua and Lewis, who used to be their primary sniper. So that is definitely a couple things to make note. Ideally, you'd like to see them get Hua here. They did... When they made it to Domination, they did switch out Coach Image for Will, but didn't have their greatest Domination performance overall as a team. They were up against 11T, who again made the reverse sweep in the best of 3. They got manhandled in the Hardpoint.
Yeah.
But then it was absolutely flip-flopped in the search and destroy. The domination was a little bit back and forth, but overall 11T did maintain control for a majority of that game, despite the kills being pretty similar across the board. I mean, you had players on 11T that were slightly positive, and you had players on Nova who were, just slightly negative. Like Desi was 24 and 26, Band was 23 and 28, so nothing too crazy there. Their key player overall the past couple of weeks has been Envy, who even in that loss in Domination did put up a 27 and an 18, as well as in the first game he went 27 and 26. And in previous weeks, he's been able to put up big numbers where the team has struggled as well. 8 kills the Thursday prior in Search and Destroy, so and 12 the Tuesday before that. So 20 kills in a week for just Search, not bad.
Yep. It looks like we got everybody in here good to go. Game number 1 is going to be Hackneyard Hardpoint once again, and Coach Image is going to be playing here. So this is the map they're actually able to take off 11T, which was a shock to a lot of people, but then they followed it up with a lot of struggles in the Search and Destroy and the Domination. It does look like Nova Invictus going to have a really solid start right here, as Shreddit still yet to pick up a kill. Ufer trying to make a push on in. And everything going the way of Nova Invictus right now. It got banned up in the top side. Coach Image going to go ahead and slide to the corner. Not going to be able to get the kill, but he gets the assist as well. Jusabot finally finds a frag, as does Time for Shreddit right now. But what seems like a good chance for Shreddit to maybe be the underdog and find a big game. Not looking great off the start. We do see Time finally finding a little bit of progress right here and could potentially take control of spawns. That's a big kill for him as well. Band is waiting and does find the frag from behind, but immediately gets refragged right there. If Shreddit's able to get control of spawns right here, which it looks like they're going to be able to do, could be a big P2 for them, which we saw in our second game of the night in 11T versus Zygnus.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Again, even though they do have Coach Image here, you would expect Nova to have a pretty distinct advantage over Shreddit, just based on these teams' histories. No kills for Coach Image so far, but he may be walking into bullets of Ufer, who, thanks to, again, a 64-round mag, is able to find several kills there. Salai as well, a pretty big feed. Coach Image slides the corner. Justabot is going to pick up the free kill there. So far, it is Band and Parrish really carrying over here on the side of Nova with 6 and 5 kills apiece. But Time over on the side of Shreddit with 6, and Salai with 4, Justabot with 4. You definitely expect Shreddit to potentially have a pretty solid game here. Justabot has really been the player to watch for Shreddit here. But man, Ufer picking up another big double kill there on the staircase, and not quite enough to tie things up, but Shreddit took what was a 50 to basically 0 lead and turned it into a 45 to 60.
Yeah, you gotta applaud their composure in that and not getting so shocked by the amount of firepower that we saw from Nova Invictus that they forgot their strategy. And I think they played it really well in that it seemed like Nova Invictus kind of got a little bit overconfident in how well they were doing right there. They didn't seem to worry that much about spawns for P2, and that's probably the toughest hard point to break on this map. So they did a really good job of holding that right there, and as a result, they're now finding some time onto P3 as well. Speaking of Time, it's going to be him on the hill laying down some shots. 2-piece, nearly a 3-piece. Band just barely able to win the gunfight, but Ufer slides on into the hard point, takes control himself, and it is going to be Shreddit finally getting broken right there as Desi looking to make the push on over. I thought he was going to not get the gunfight on the, or not get the kill on the player that was 1 HP. And even though they do give up a little bit of scrap time right here, Shreddit once again on point with their rotations, and it's paying off big time as they're set up for P3 or P4.
Yeah, and Shreddit actually have a lead currently. Coach Image unable to find a kill thus far, and Spawns right in the crosshairs of time. Pretty not fun way to die, but you know, hey, Hardpoint 2021 is a thing. So we do have Shreddit on the Hardpoint, extending their lead, currently about 20 points.
Yep, Time and Justibot both really popping off right now. 11 and 12 kills apiece. And what was a strong start for Nova has definitely fizzled a lot. Desi was the only player in double digits for a while. He's up to 16 right now and definitely doing his best to carry as Nova Invictus, looking to retake the lead right here. They've got really good control of P4, and that's not going to be easy to break. But once again, it comes down to the fundamentals, and Shreddit already set up for P5 right here. You see Time up in the top side, but he's going to lose the gunfight. He did everything he needed to besides that, but that's going to open up a big opportunity for Nova Invictus. They got one player up top. Ufer and Justibot down low, going to try to hold it down, but a triple going in the feed for Nova Invictus. And this is not going to be an easy hold for them. Obviously, Ufer on the head glitch going to have the advantage. Coach Image has been able to find a couple of kills, but it's going to be a very chaotic hard point as we do have Salai sliding in and securing that control.
Yeah, it's been a surprisingly good performance for the side of Shreddit. Again, you kind of got to consider that we do have the coach for Nova here, and you don't expect the coach to have to play. So you have to imagine there's not been a lot of practice in their scrims with Coach Image being there. So definitely something we're going to have to keep an eye out moving forward for this Nova team, because keeping a roster that shows up every week has been their biggest struggle so far this season. When their main lineup shows up, they show up big in the game, and you know, unfortunately, we got to find that level of consistency in your roster if you want to have any hope moving into the quarterfinals. Because, again, this is a team that is essentially qualified. I don't see a world where any of the bottom 4 teams will surpass Nova in points. So they need to get their stuff together. There's only 1 week remaining in the open season.
Yeah, that's really been a big struggle for them, and they are going to somehow be able to manage the break on P1 right here as they go ahead and push back in. Once again, trying to get back that lead, but the fundamentals for Shreddit have been really, really good so far, and it looks like they might be able to get a push on into P1 again. You gotta wonder if this is the right move, but it looks like they're going to be able to maintain spawns right here, so as long as they do prevent the push from Nova Invictus over on the opposite side, really solid plays. They're more than willing to give up a little bit of that scrap time in order to properly hold P2 right here. We see Vibin already set up on the point. He's got the angles from the top side, just going to continue to spray across. The SMG with the mag of an LMG and the range of an AR continuing to cause issues, but Ufer's going to be left all by himself up on the point. Wins gunfight number 1, not able to make it number 2. Major assist goes in, but the hold not going to be quite as clean for Shreddit off the start. It does look like they're going to be able to retake the hill, but this one looking a lot more chaotic than the first.
Yeah, and a big retake from Nova very early on, still 45 points on the hill when they got back onto it, so a lot of opportunity for them to cross into 200 here. We do have all players on Nova approaching 20 kills except for Coach Image, and Shreddit are a little bit behind, but still very much in the game. Time with 20, Ufer with 18, Justibot with 18, Sly and Vibin with 16 and 15 respectively. So, you know, overall, I can't complain with the performance that Shreddit have here so far today.
Yeah, definitely really, really good across the board, and we do see them once again. Those fundamentals, the rotations already set up on P3 and ready to go. That is what has kept them in the game so far, and it's what's going to give them the best shot at winning right here. We do see Envy actually going for the hop-up right here, and he does that pretty cleanly. That's going to give him a lot of angles, but doesn't see Justibot over to the side. He's pulled out that QXR once again. That has been his go-to time and time again, and just what he feels most comfortable with. Love seeing him stick with that. Even with every other player on the map going with the PP19 right here. He actually misses the hop up right there, and that's going to slow down the hold, gives him a disadvantage. Envy's going to be able to win the gunfight as a result of it, and Shred is actually going to give up the hard point right there as Nova Invictus pushes on. If they get the full hold right here, that puts them only about 20 seconds away from closing it out. Shred it with some big kills, clearing off the hill. At this point, they're probably not even going to try to make the push. Rather, they're just going to try to clear off as many times as they can and keep this Nova Invictus team
drop shot there.
pushed back for as long as they can. They do find a lot of big kills right there, but Band turns on to time, leaves 2 people on the point for Shred It, and this is going to be a crazy one.
Yeah, still very, very close between these two teams. Only about 25 points separating them, and that lead is narrowing as Shred It are on the hard point. Just as I say that, Nova come through with the...
Did you see time?
Somehow. I did not.
He got a nasty flick right there, but it's actually Envy making his way into the point. He is top frag for the game right now and continuing to move up 33 on the board. Both teams pushing him from both sides. Not a whole lot of leeway right now if you're Shred It. The clock keeps on ticking, and Nova Invictus keeps on moving closer and closer to that 250 point mark. Despite the good game that this Shred It team has played so far, they're just losing too many gunfights right now, and I think it might be too little too late for them, as we do have Nova Invictus. Even with 1 player out, coach playing, he only gets 6 kills, still able to get the win in that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Nova has... Excuse me, I'm dying over here. But Nova has a pretty solid roster. And again, if they can just get a roster to stick together and play together, they can be another top competing team like they were in the last season, as well as like they were at the beginning of this season. So it's definitely rough to see Nova in this shape again, especially being 1 week away from the quarterfinals. They definitely need to pull things together. Desi with a big performance, 32, 22, 12, as well as Envy, who's been one of their top fraggers these past couple weeks with another great performance, 33, 19, and 10 for him. So great work coming out of those guys, as you mentioned. Basically won a 4v5 here. So we'll have to see as we get into the search and destroy. Shred It put up a great fight. They may be able to turn things around in a big way and push us into a game 3. And maybe with a second shot of life in respawns, they could still take the win here.
Yep, definitely going to be interesting to see how it plays out in the search and destroy. And also, credit to Coach Image, even though his KD was a little bit lacking, he did have 3 minutes on the hill. So he knew what his role needed to be, and he played it about as well as he possibly could have.
Hard point.
He just had to be there. All he got to do is be there. That's what his team needed from him. They just went and slayed out, and they got the win as a result. So that is
still not the highest capture time that we've seen so far this season.
True.
They're still looking to beat that 319 mark.
True. It is going to be Raid, Search, and Destroy for game number 2. We haven't run through the maps and bans real quick, so we'll go ahead and take a look at those. But you guys probably guessed. Ban on the QQ9 and ban on... Wait. That's not right. Definitely not a ban on the PP19. Okay. It looks like the maps and bans are not accurate, so we'll head on over to the Discord and see what that has to say. And we've got ban on the DRH and the QQ9. That sounds a little bit more accurate, hence explaining the 9 PP19s in play in that one. Probably won't see it quite as much in the Search and Destroy just because we will have players pulling out those snipers, but definitely expect it to be dominant over on Raid as we do get ready to hop into game number 2, and we could see potentially our 3rd consecutive 2-0 of the night. Kremtor, I appreciate all the gifted subs. But yeah, this is definitely going to require a really strong fundamental performance from Shred It, and definitely it's usually going to come down to the sniper opening it up with a first blood You got Ban, the primary sniper, over on Nova Invictus, is here. We'll probably be sniping up against either Time or Vibin. They've kind of gone back and forth throughout the season, but he's going to need to be on point with the snipes if they're going to have a shot at winning this one.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, Nova, again, basically won, granted not by like a big margin, but basically won a 4v5 as far as the gunfights across the board go. Again, Coach Image did his job in that situation, sat his booty in a corner, and racked up 3 minutes of objective time. So we'll have to see in Search and Destroy, where putting a body on an objective is irrelevant. Will help them out. We definitely need to see him pick up at least a couple kills here. Because he put up much bigger numbers on Tuesday in a much more difficult situation, in my opinion. I mean, he had 10 kills against 11T in Hardpoint on Tuesday, so he also put up 4 and 7 in Search and Destroy in a game that Wiro was 13 and 2. So picking up a couple kills here would definitely help kind of cushion their loss of a player here a little bit. Again, not having their original primary sniper in Lewis, Hua not being here. Haven't really seen anything out of Skizzle, and Will was here for one domination game for them.
Yep, we do see a very aggressive push for Nova Invictus onto P1. Or not P1, onto A. I was stuck in hardpoint mode right there, and they go pretty much uncontested. They push so aggressively that Time, who was trying to get the sniper across mid, wasn't even able to find anybody as he tried to push through, and he finds somebody right there. Oh, nearly had disaster for Nova Invictus. Finds a clean 2-piece. Not going to be enough to win the round, though, as we do have Nova Invictus taking round 1. And we do currently see 5 PP19s in play for them. So, seems like they're content to go with the aggressive push. We'll likely see Ban pulling out the sniper over on the defensive side, but they're really trying to push the pace right here. And we once again see them going with a really aggressive A push. Does backfire a little bit as they do get first blooded right there. Coach Image slides through, not going to be able to get the frag, but he survives with 2 HP. Salai with the return fire. This is not a super tactical search and destroy so far, but it's working for Nova Invictus, as it seems like their current game plan is to just steamroll shred it and hope that they can get on into the hard point, or on, gosh, I'm in hard point mode, on into the bomb site, and it's worked for them so far as we do get the plant over onto A. They got a man advantage, just about looking to clutch up right here, trying to be as quiet as possible. 1 kill on the board for him, and knows exactly where these two are about to be. Parrish on the back side of the corner. He knows nobody is on the bomb. Predictable locations. I'm not sure that's the right move right there.
No.
Absolute disaster right there for Nova Invictus. Just way too predictable. Nobody was checking that corner, and Jusabot finds himself a free little 1v2.
Yeah, that was a big clutch up for Jusabot there, who's been the key player for this shredded lineup. Definitely struggled a little bit more than we've seen him in really any other game this season. I mean, he didn't do bad in the domination or the hard point, but and you're in hard point mode, and I'm everywhere but. But Jusabot definitely having a big opening performance here. He makes the rotation mid, a great rotation through the smoke for Nova. Almost gets them through uncontested. It's going to be Jusabot picking up 2 kills, as he did hear them step up and run through the smoke. Coach Image actually going to come through and pick that kill up. 2 on the board for him. Envy is going to pick up the kill onto Sly. This is looking more and more doable for the side of Nova as we move on. It is a 3 versus 2 in favor of Shreddit, but Coach Image does have bomb. Looks like he's waiting for his teammate to help him roll through. He's going to walk right into the hands of Vibin. Trade is going to come through there. It's now Envy up against Time and Ufer. And you called it spot on, Bobby, that Time is going to be the sniper. I would have preferred to see Vibin snipe. I think he's had more impactful search and destroy performance, but 2 kills on the board. Definitely still doable for Time and Ufer.
Yeah, it does look like the two remaining players currently playing mid and up by laundry right now for Shred It. And it looks like they're going to try to go for the pinch right here. Very well timed. Envy not in a great spot right now. Time's actually not going to be able to have an angle right there. He's going to be able to find shots, but only 12 HP, not really a whole lot to work with. Another really solid clinical round for Shred It right there. It's going to be Time finding the final kill once again, and they're able to take 2 rounds in a row and take the lead in Search and Destroy.
It's actually Oofer finding the final kill.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Yes.
But Shreddit do have a lead again. They could potentially still push us into a game 3. We do have pretty even kills across the board for the side of Nova at 3 and 2 each respectively. Over on Shreddit, we do have Oofer struggling down at 1, but we have Justaba up at 5. Vibin at 4 is going to get the 1-for-1 trade there. And still anybody's game. Just about gonna get. Oh, and Nova just absolutely falls apart. Oh my goodness.
I looked at chat for a second, and then I looked back at the screen, and then the round was over. I was expecting Shredded to give Nova Invictus a run for their money, but I wasn't expecting the Search and Destroy to look like this. And Justaba having himself a game right now. 7 kills through the first 4 rounds. Nova Invictus going with pretty much the same strategy every time. And I don't know if this is as a result of them having Coach Image in here and not wanting to play anything too strategic because they feel like it's too risky, but it's just not really working for them right now. And Desi's not even able to get the plant down right here. Oofer's laying down shot. He still tries to stick the plant as he's taking bullets in the back. Envy slides into the cubby. He's getting shot from every direction possible in 4 rounds in a row, I believe, going on over for Shredded.
Yeah, 4 in a row for Shredded. You are correct. Just about having a pretty huge performance for the team right now, as well as Time and Oofer and Vibin stepping up their kills for that round. Things looking a little bit better across the board for them. Oh, Envy almost gets dumpstered there, turns the corner into like 3 or 4 people who were all looking up at the window, so wasn't great for him, but he finds 1, he almost finds 2, can't find the bullets to connect. Sly is gonna pick that one up. It is now a 2 versus 2, make it a 2 versus 1, make it a 1 versus 1, as kills are just ripping back and forth, and Sly finding the final kill is gonna be 5 rounds in a row for Shreddit. And Nova not looking great right now.
Yeah, Coach Image just did not have enough in his bag to be able to clutch that one up. And like you said, Nova just can't find anything right now. Band wasn't able to find the opening first blood right there. Salai's taking some shots, but he's going to be able to stay alive. Oofer going to reach hell. Everybody trying to make the push on into the B site. Coach Image working the head glitch over there. It is finally Nova Invictus taking first blood, but Salai able to get a frag onto Desi, and just like that, we're at 4 players apiece. Oofer with the bomb in hand, looking like he might actually make the counter rotation on over to A. Time with a sniper in hand. Hasn't really had a huge impact, but the SMGs in the hands of his teammates, Jusabot, Salai, Vibin, so very consistent. And they actually, I think, just juke the complete crap out of Nova Invictus right now, as they have all started to move on over to the A site. It's going to be a free plant for Oofer right here. And with 1 player advantage and Salai finding Envy, things not looking good for Nova right here. And seemed like we could go to our first game 3 of the night. What a snipe from Ban. That's what they needed. He hits the follow-up right there. He could clutch, but Oofer's there with the shots. Parrish needs to hit these. Oofer could have a 1v2 on his hands. Parrish has a lot of bullets in that magazine. Just not a whole lot to work with, and he's gonna be able to get the frag. Nova Invictus is gonna stay alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, it would be a long and hard comeback here from this point. I mean, they need to win 4 rounds in a row without giving an inch over to the side of Shreddit. And with the way Nova have been playing this Search and Destroy specifically, I don't know if I count on them to be able to pull 4 rounds in a row together. So we'll have to see as we move forward. Shred It with a incredibly aggressive push up the A side. Band is going to get Salai. That makes things a little bit more doable. He gets, I believe, hit markered in return before he eventually does die. And that is going to be a sniper for sniper trade as Desi picks up the kill onto time. Envy somehow wins that gunfight against Vibin after potatoing for so long. Don't know why he challenged Ufer there. Rounded the corner, gave up the head glitch that he had. And fortunately for him, his team able to clutch it up. Specifically, Coach Image with the nasty pistol whip. Gonna bring it up to a 5-3 lead, still in favor of Shred It.
Yeah, that's 2 rounds in a row for Nova Invictus. And if you're Shred It, I think the right approach right here is just to play this a little bit passive, feel it out a little bit more than you have been previously. They've given up quite a few first bloods. I believe the past 2 rounds they've gotten first blood in each of them. And Time's going to get eliminated. I mean, the whole team just gets decimated. Justabot's going to be the only player remaining right here. And it seems like they're just kind of falling apart right now. Justabot's going to be able to win the initial gunfight, waiting for somebody around the corner by Lambo. Nobody there, and they are very, very patiently waiting around that bomb. Obviously, Coach Image set up pretty well right there. He's going to try to land shots onto Parrish. Nothing goes. 3 rounds in a row going in for Nova Invictus.
Yeah, one might say that Shred It got decimated that last round.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I feel like I'm casting with Hitman again.
I'm so sorry.
I'm casting with Hitman again, chat. Let's go.
Oh man, Envy does get hit with a nade there, but he will survive. All players still alive, and Vibin, the sniper I wanted to see, gonna come through with the clutch shot onto Envy there. Time is gonna drop to Parrish, and Vibin finds another one. Big round for Shred It. Looks like we're going to a game 3, Bobby. Coach Image, while a phenomenal fight put up out of him, I have 0 faith in clutching the 3v1.
Yeah.
And, 7 kills on the board, though. You can't complain too much when your coach comes in and has as many kills as the rest of you.
Yeah, that was definitely not a bad game for him at all. And
might be questioning my job security if I'm on Nova, but...
Shred It definitely looked like the better team for the majority of that and just lost their confidence a little bit in some of those later rounds, but they're able to pull it through, did what they needed to do, and close that one out. That is going to push us to our first game 3 of the night. And I kind of thought this might be a good matchup. Obviously, I didn't know for sure that we were going to have Coach Image, and I just wanted on the record, he actually had the most points out of the entire team, so only 1 less kill than Parrish, and obviously those bomb plants. He had 6 assists as well. He played really good fundamental Call of Duty Mobile right there. You gotta applaud him for that one.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, again, oh well, hey, this changes the map a little bit. This good night, Shred It.
Yeah, Hua just joined the lobby, so Shred, they could still win. It's not going to be easy or likely, but there were a lot of struggles right there for Nova Invictus. Their coach was top frag. I'm just saying, Shredded still got a chance.
They do. They do. You're right. There's always a chance. The best team can lose to the worst team on the right day. So, not saying that, you know, Shredded is the worst team or that Nova Invictus is the best team. Just as a clarification.
Confirm,
you know?
Day hates Shredded.
That's not what happened. That is not at all what happened.
Yeah, getting ready to load into the last game. It is going to be Domination on Summit. We've not seen a whole lot of Domination in general this season, so let alone, I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of Summit this season as well. Gonna be a fun one to watch for sure. I feel like it's one of the more balanced Domination maps just because of how easy it is to flip, and it's just a constant cycle of chaos, and it can be very, very difficult to predict at times. So we got everybody loaded in already and good to go for the last game of match 3.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely a good map to finish it off on. This is actually a really well laid out domination map. I think this is a horrible, horrible, horrible hardpoint map, and I wish more teams would ban it so we didn't have to watch it. But I like this map for domination, so hopefully we'll get a good fight out of both of these teams. But it is Shreddit off the back with the very early B cap.
Yeah, they're playing this really well. They get a really big feed, so not only are they going to have B control, it looks like they'll probably be able to flip for C. If Justabot plays this correctly, he could also find some really big kills as this team goes ahead and exits. So gets kill number 1, slides the corner, gets kill number 2. Not quite able to make it 3, but they've got a shot at the triple cap right here. He knows his teammates are spawning in, and he's going to go ahead, set up for the rotation on up here. And once again, looking to catch them off guard, but banned with the fortunate spawn right there. Going to be able to win it from the backside of control center regardless. It is Shreddit in control of B and maintaining the double cap.
Yeah, this is a pretty good start for Shreddit here. I would hate to have caster cursed Nova, but you know, it looks like that could potentially be what happens here as Shreddit are.
He's just
still
trying to
at the
reverse
lead.
caster curse it right now, Chad. That's all that's happening.
Ivan with 6 kills on the board, make it 7 as he finds another onto Desi there before getting traded out by Envy. And with basically double the score currently, Shreddit in a great position.
What
moving
the
forward. They don't
frick?
seem to really be
Tremtor
losing
just
any
gifted
ground on
another
B.
50 subs. Good
Couple
lord.
kills coming through from Shreddit.
Thank
Gonna allow
you.
them to start pushing
Can we
up
get some sub hype in
once
chat?
again. Just about making his rotation over. Is right behind Vibin, who Vibin is just a double kill machine this game. I don't know where it's coming from, but 8 of his 9 kills have been double kills.
Oh, and we get the triple cap in play right there. Oh my,
Oh my
gosh.
goodness.
It's not just that Shred is giving them a run for their money, but they're running for their lives right now. They've got map control. They're finding frags. Vibin's already in double digits right here. Tries to slide on down. He's going to get shut down by Parrish, but man, Shreddit looking really good in domination. And we knew that their fundamentals were really good in the hard point, even though they were going up against the coach for Nova Invictus. But right now, they're just straight up winning their gunfights. Nobody above 6 kills over on Nova Invictus. And Salai, Vibin, both in double digits right now. And looking to retake the double cap. They're not quite able to get C right here. And this is the first sliver of hope that we've seen for Nova Invictus so far. It looks like they're going to be able to get A. And Nova Invictus able to take C back down. So a little bit of time going in favor of Nova Invictus. But they've got to do this a lot more consistently, especially with how well Shreddit's playing right now.
Yeah, and Shreddit are once again on B. Just about finds the kill onto Envy, and man, Shreddit in one push get the B cap back once again. Wow, Nova, what happened?
I just don't know. To be honest, this isn't really super surprising to me, given how poor the rotations for Nova Invictus were when it came to the hard point. So much of their game plan just came down to them kind of trying to bull rush and see if they could get breaks on the hard point. And right now, it's been mostly strategy. You saw Shreddit had the really good initial push to take B. They were in the positions that they needed to, and this team showed a lot of improvement despite taking the L in the initial hard point. We see time hopping down again. They get another triple cap right there, and just all the gun skill seems to be coming out right now, as there is nobody in double digits right now for Nova Invictus.
I would like to point out that 14 of Vibin's 16 kills are double kills.
Whew. Wait, how did you
That's
calculate
not-
that?
I've been watching.
Oh.
I've been watching. Every like couple seconds it's double kill, double kill, double kill. Nova, with the most strategy we've seen out of them all series long, gets the early B cap, making things more doable. They are well within double cap territory still. They're only sitting down about 35 points currently. So we'll have to see as we move forward into this game if they can maintain it. We do get the AC flip And I think that might be a little bit better for Shreddit. Unfortunately, for Nova, the way Shreddit played round 1. You have players rotating on through right now.
I'm not really sure what Ufer was doing right there. He definitely heard the shots over the left and just kind of ran right into them. That's probably a less than ideal strategy right there. Vibin is going to be able to get the beam onto Hua from the bottom side of control over on the catwalk. And with Parrish rounding the corner, it's going to be another easy kill for him. Like you said, he's a double kill machine right now. But I got to put that aside and get back to the strategy. They need very desperately to try to keep this gap, because if you let Nova Invictus get close, you know they've got the gun skill to be able to pull off a comeback. And as I say it, we see a momentary triple cap and the maintain double cap going in for Shreddit right here, as they once again just they're able to maintain the map position. They've got the spots that they need to. Time here's somebody right outside the doorway, doesn't die somehow, finally gets taken out by Desi. But they're able to win the gunfights where they need to, and they've got spawns to maintain this seat control. As long as they can rain down shots from above, they're going to be in a really good position to close out this game as the lead continues to build, now up to 30. Vibin going to be able to take out Parrish right there. And the time for Nova Invictus to pull this off with only the need of a double cap is closing down quickly. 33 points and getting closer. Oh, that's disaster for Nova Invictus. If they don't take it back soon and secure a double cap, it's going to be game over.
I can't believe this is the case, but I got to give it to Shreddit. They are the better team right now. I mean, they are playing much better. Hua over here on the side of Nova, down at 4 kills, has been a pretty big struggle for him. I mean, your coach put up more kills in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, and that's something else I was thinking about. Like, yeah, you got Hua coming in, but he hasn't really been with the team super consistently over the past few weeks. So even if you get him coming in over Coach Image, there's no guarantee. Like, we had Wally come in the first week. He was one of the most dominant players and ended up bottom fragging as he came in for the first time in a couple of weeks. So there's always a certain amount of risk in making a last-minute substitution like that, and it seems like it's backfired on Nova Invictus as they currently find themselves in need of a triple cap in order to close this one out, and time continuing to dwindle as it doesn't even look like they're trying to make a push for A right now. Justabot's able to go ahead and bait out one player from the inside of Control Center. Time continues to tick. It looks like Shreddit's going to get B right here, and that should pretty much seal the deal. Even with a triple cap, I don't know that there's enough time for Nova Invictus to win this one.
I think there's just enough time if they got a triple cap, like, right now. So, definitely a huge win for Shreddit. I didn't think they stood a chance as soon as Hua came in the lobby, and Shreddit absolutely made me eat my words. I take it back, guys. You guys earned this. Worked hard for it, and this is a big W going over to you guys.
Oh, and I think they're going to take the trip. Oh, just the cherry on top right there. They said, let's call in the cluster strike. Let's go ahead and get the triple cap. Let's call in the rest of our score streaks. We earned this win. It is going to be Shreddit taking home the victory in Domination, 200 to 147. They pull off the upset against Nova Invictus and secure a huge win and also keep their chances of making it into the playoffs alive.
I'm going to jump on the bandwagon before chat gets a chance to. Nova super washed. No. I'm just kidding. You guys know I love you. I hype you guys up all the time. But Shreddit just came through and had a better strategy and better rotations here today. They definitely earned this win. Sly 31-18-9. Vibin 22-16-14, but put up some big numbers in the Search and Destroy. Justabot, who's normally the top fragger for the team, struggling a little bit down towards the middle. 20-17-12. Ufer 20-15-7, and down at the bottom, Time 18, 13, and 7, but nobody negative on the side of Shreddit. And you look over at the side of Nova, and it's Parrish even, Desi 20, 18, and 9, and that's it for positives. The next closest is Envy at 19, 22, and 8, and then it drops down to Band 12, 25, and 8, and Hua with, I think, one of the worst performances we've seen out of him, unfortunately. It would have been nice to see him come back and help the team get that kind of comeback win after losing the Search and Destroy, but being apart from the team so long, it just was not in the cards for them here today.
Yeah, and you also got to give credit to Sly. He fragged out, but he also had 12 flag caps right there. So he was on the ball with the rotations, being in position, and just making all the plays that his team needed him to make. You got to give them a whole lot of credit for that one. Coming up next, we have the match that probably a lot of you are here for, and that is going to be Tribe Gaming versus Trovo Mayhem, Old Tribe versus New Tribe. And with the full starting roster, it looks like going to be here for Trovo Mayhem. This is no doubt going to be a good one. They had a slow start to the season, but ever since the addition of Leon, this roster has looked really, really strong.
It was a little rough without Lil B on Tuesday, gonna be honest. Without their lead sniper, it was...
I mean, they were going up against the second best team in the league, to be fair.
They stood a chance with their currently best player on the roster as far as stats across the board go. I know chat is gonna... I know specifically Marshy will flame me for saying that, but you know, it is what it is. Lil B's got a 1.74 KD in Search, and they didn't have him up against, as Bobby said, you know, essentially the second best, if not one of the best overall teams in the league right now. So definitely going to be exciting to have him back for their lineup today. Again, kind of that all-star lineup that we've seen out of them has been Tectonic, Little B, Leon, Nero, and then I think you could really fill in any of the remaining players and have a pretty key roster here. It's been E-Molly a lot as of late, but I think I'd really, in this matchup specifically, I think I'd like to see Jesus Saves You fill in here instead.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Taking a look at the standings one more time before we hop into this, obviously. We do have Tribe Gaming up in first place. Trovo Mayhem really on the border right now, especially with the performance that we just saw from Shreddit. Only a 5-point lead right now, and Shreddit looking really, really strong at the moment. Obviously, Nova Invictus is going to be kind of on the border with this as well, and a lot of it's going to come down to the... Do we have like a document with the matchups for next week? Because I've got a lot of figuring out to do to see who's got the best chance of making it into the playoffs right now.
Matchups next week, I can just roll right through. Tuesday is Invictus versus Zygnus Black, F4 versus Exiled, Zygnus Esports versus Shreddit, 11T versus Vitro. So I foresee a lot of 2-0s happening, with maybe the exception of F4 versus Exiled. With Mayhem and Tribe both having buys.
So that's a really big disadvantage for Trovo Mayhem, because right off the bat, that's 20 points that they're 100% not going to be able to get.
Correct. And then for Thursday, Shreddit and Exiled have a buy, and it's going to be Mayhem versus F4, Invictus versus Zygnus, Tribe versus 11T, and Zygnus Black versus Vitro.
Okay, so who does Shreddit play on Tuesday?
Shreddit plays against Zygnus Esports.
Oh,
the main lineup. The main lineup.
Yeah, if they've got a bye on Thursday and then they play against Zygnus main, okay, it might not be as much of a shot for them to make the playoffs as I thought there might be.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, regardless of what happens, the upcoming matches don't really look good for anybody at the bottom. The one exception is like F4 plays Vitro. Actually, wait, that was today. I mean, Exiled and F4 play. I mean, there's a chance Exiled could jump up some points there. But then Exiled have a bye on Thursday, so it'd be rough for even them to make it. And they were the closest of the bottom four coming into today. So
Got it. Wait, did I ever? I don't think I ever sent out notifications for the stream. I just realized. Let me do that.
Oh no.
I forgot. Or maybe I did. No, I definitely didn't. Okay, sick. I mean, that's okay because we got so many raids that it all like evened out, and I was gonna save the notifications for later on the stream. Let me do that real quick. And now we're good to go. All right, everybody give me a thumbs up in chat. Thank you very much. I got the notifications out in time for the main matchup. So we do actually see the absence of Nero for Trovo Mayhem. So it
He's
looks
been
like
their biggest objective player.
yeah, definitely. He's been their SMG primary and a really big role player for them. We do see Jesus Saves You making the substitution right there. So we'll see how much that affects them. Still waiting for the rest of the tribe roster to get in here, but off the bat, we do have Vague, Marshy, and Bolu. So nothing too very surprising right there. There's something I was going to look at, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, maps and bans. That's what we're looking at. Oh, interesting. So we got a ban on the PP19 and the DRH. No ban on the QQ9. So that could change things up in a really big way, as obviously SMG dominant players are going to have themselves a field day. But honestly, for Trovo Mayhem, we've seen them play a lot of off-meta with LK24s and other things like that. Typically, we do see their anchors, their entry fraggers usually pull out the SMGs, and if the QQ9 is available, that's what they'll end up going with. So likely a reason that we do see a ban on the DRH. As far as the maps, we do have Raid Hardpoint for game number 1, Meltdown Search and Destroy for game number 2, Firing Range Domination for game number 3, Tribe banning Hardpoint on Firing Range, and Trovo Mayhem banning Domination on Hackney Yard.
Who was the last week that we saw using the AS Val?
That was somebody for Nova Invictus.
Invictus.
Parrish,
remember
I
who it
think.
was.
I think it was Parrish.
Might have been Parrish. Maybe. I don't remember.
I tried it out the other day, and it was better than I remember it being. It's still not like PP19 QQ9 level, but it's better than I remember it being.
Zim has told us to tell chat that both Exiled and Shredda actually have to beat Mayhem to have a chance. Because currently Mayhem owns the tiebreaker over them because they beat them in their individual series. Interesting.
Didn't even think about that.
I didn't either, so I'm glad Zim told us.
Yep. Regardless, it's definitely a long shot for the both of them. I guess Exile does have two matches next week, right?
No. Exile has a bye on Thursday.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah. So
So does Shred It.
so it's pretty much sealed. Not like sealed, but like given Trovo Mayhem's matchup on Thursday.
Yeah, versus F4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless F4, I mean F4, they got the 2-0 against Vitro today, so they could get a little bit of momentum and cause some noise, you know?
Not incorrect. Not correct. Believe, where was that last? Was it? Maybe not. Never mind. Yeah, it was. So F4 did beat 11T.
Yeah, but that was because of DQs and disconnects. Well, Wally dropped a VTOL. That was the reason they lost.
Can't even let me hype him up. So rude. So
I mean,
rude.
I just gotta keep it real, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Oh, I did not mean to. Okay. Well, we got everybody loaded in. Jez and Hack's going to be the final two players for Tribe right here. And most of our players readied up. We should be good to go momentarily. I'm sorry, my hair is getting all in my face. But this will be our final matchup of the night. Definitely going to be a fun one to watch. Old Tribe versus New Tribe. Just waiting for them to ready up, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah. Just Vitro, make sure you remember for next week when you face off against Zygnus Black that the Retrievers did beat Virginia.
I don't know what that means.
The first time a 16 seed ever beat a 1 seed in March
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Madness. The first seeds are like 140 to 1 or something like that, but it has happened.
It has happened. Oh, day moved over, so we're good. Okay. Tribe's just taking their sweet time right now. Do I have a YouTube channel that you can
Stretching out
subscribe
the
to?
old
Indeed.
leg.
I do have a YouTube channel you can subscribe to. It's called Bobby Plays. It is.
So how close are you to 1 million?
Rolling up on 700K right now. I'm at like 690 something.
Because someone owes you a follow at 1 million.
True.
Or
It's not. I don't have that
subscribe.
as my banner anymore because I had signed with NYSL, so I had to change it. But he does owe me a follow whenever that happens.
That legend will never be forgotten.
True.
So that's a +1 waiting for you, Bobby.
Yep. We got everybody loaded in, good to go. Game number 1 underway right here as we do have. Typically, you expect for Tribe side to be strong side off the start. A little bit quicker to enter into the point, and they go flooding in. Nero with the QQ9 out right here, and oh my gosh, I don't know what I just witnessed. Not a whole lot of kills going in for Trovo Mayhem off the start. Tectonic up in Laundry, holding that position, trying to find something with the LK in hand, but hasn't been able to find any so far, and the smoke will finally clear. Lays down shots onto Marshy. That's kill number 1 on the board. The contest goes in. Bolu on the head. He's going to be able to slide away. Vague taking shots. Another assist goes in for Tectonic, and it is Trovo Mayhem with the clean break to be able to pick up what looks to be the rest of this time. I don't imagine Tribe's going to send a very aggressive counter push right here. More than likely they'll be wanting to set up for spawns on next. Tech picking up another one right there. Bolu having himself a start. 8 kills off the start. They actually get a little bit of scrap time. I don't know if that was the best push for them, but they do have the control over on P2 as well, and they're setting up very well off the start right here.
You definitely think just looking at the numbers that Tribe have all of the edge here. They are way more in the green as far as when loss record goes, and if you look at their stats for Hardpoint across the board, basically everybody is positive as far as KDA goes. Meanwhile, looking at Trovo Mayhem, definitely have some players that stand out, like Tectonic and Little B, who, like I said, has their highest KDAs across the board currently. Leon, who we haven't seen as much out of him, but he jumped on the team and had a ginormous impact, especially in Search and Destroy. So it would be a long, hard-fought game for Trovo Mayhem, but they could make something happen here. It's just not going to be easy by any means.
Yeah, we see Little B trying to make the entry on in, but he's going to get beamed inside of Bank Room, and that is pretty much a full, or if not full, very close to it, 60 hold going in for Tribe right there, and that is definitely what they like to see. Obviously, the contest on the point right here. Bolu pushing on in. We do have Nero on the back side, holding things down, and I totally just realized that Nero's playing and E-Molly is not, so it looks like Molly getting substituted out for Jesus Saves You right there. Bolu holding things down, still a couple players on point, and it looks like Smoke's going to be the primary thing saving both of these teams right now. It is finally going to be Tribe with the break. 2 players in double digits already, Vague and Bolu, absolutely frying off the start. And not a whole lot going the way of Trovo Mayhem right now as Tectonic tries to make a push. 7 kills on the board, but not enough to get any time on the hill.
Yeah, it's been a rough game thus far for Trovo Mayhem. Tectonic 8 kills, as you mentioned, but Nero struggling down at 1 currently. Again, this is kind of what we've seen mostly out of him, is he plays more objective, but getting a couple extra kills on the board would certainly help their cause in the long run. Tectonic does get a kill on to Vague there as the team is making their rotation over. And it's going to be Trovo Mayhem, the first on to basketball court. A full hold here does not give them the lead. It does not even tie, but certainly cushions the blow in the lead that Tribe currently have.
Yep, the cluster strike going to go ahead and go in for Vague right there. He's actually got an advanced UAV as well, so he has gone on a big streak so far. And a couple big kills do go in for Trovo Mayhem right here. Players running all around. Bolu out-fragging the QQ9s with the HVK right there. That is not an easy thing to do. He's able to get the major assist with the Deagle right there as well. And he is cooking right now. 18 kills, 17 for Vague right here. Finally taken out by Little B. Tectonic doing everything he possibly can. He's got 14 on the board, but not a great day for Nero so far. Only 2 kills for him. He's going to need to step things up big time if Trovo Mayhem's going to have a shot.
Yeah, and with Tribe currently approaching a 100-point lead, it definitely doesn't look good for Trovo Mayhem. Maybe they can turn things around in the search and destroy, but as far as Hardpoint goes, it can't be just Tectonic carrying all the weight. He's up at 16 right now, rivaling the likes of Bolu and Vague over on the side of Tribe. But Nero with 2, Little B and Leon and Jesus Saves You with 8, 9, and 9. It's just not quite adding up to a lot of control as far as positioning goes. And, you know, currently right now it doesn't even matter that Trovo Mayhem have actually had really good rotations. They're just not winning the gunfights straight out. So that has been their biggest hindrance thus far. Jez and Marshy each picking up a kill there before Tectonic gets the kill on to Jez before Vague gets the return. And now officially a 100-point lead for the side of Tribe.
Yeah, Little B finds 2 big kills on the point right now and looking to hold right here as his teammates do start to get set up. Knows that Vague's on the inside right there. He's going to get beamed by Tectonic, who's now up to 19 kills. Seems to be the one thing keeping them in the game right now. But no doubt Little B's play right there definitely a good start to what Trovo Mayhem needs in order to make a comeback happen right here. Nobody really anywhere close to making a push right here for Tribe, and they're going to look to group up on the top side and see if they can apply some pressure and get the break on to the awaiting Trovo Mayhem team. Little B laying down shots again, gets the assist. Trying to get Vague there as well, but getting sprayed from top of Laundry. Beams Vague, what a shot for him. That's going to be huge to continue this hold as Marshy tries to get the push on in. Jez up in the top side as well. Little B kind of stranded by himself, and it looks like Tribe's going to be able to pick up the majority of the scrap time right here as we do have Trovo Mayhem setting up for P2.
Yeah, big setup coming from them. Hopefully they can find some sort of momentum here and slow down this massive lead that Tribe has. That is a big kill feed coming through for Trovo Mayhem here, as we do get ready to have this hard point of Kitchen unlocked. Again, an entire hard point would not get them the lead. It wouldn't even be close to tying it up, but it's the start that they need. And with a big break coming through for Tribe there, this is looking pretty disastrous for the side of Trovo Mayhem.
Yeah, that was just way too easy of a break if you're Trovo Mayhem. You got to be able to hold longer than that, and even with the proper setup, they've just not been able to get it to go. They're not winning the gunfights. So Tectonic, once again, doing everything he can, slides in, gets the one-man break, pulls out the Deagle, gets the kill with that as well. He is a one-man wrecking crew right now. They're able to get the contest, but Jez slides on through once again. He's had some crucial double kills and starting to stack up right here. 22 on the board, takes out Jesus Saves You as well. I don't know what the mobility on his QQ9 is, but it is something fierce as he is flying across the map, running through this team. Trovo Mayhem pushing out, trying to avoid the 100-point club right now. They got a couple players looking to get set up, but they're going to get beamed. It's Tectonic finding a couple kills right there and a big triple feed, going to secure them the hard point off the start, but still never going to be an easy hold up against this Tribe roster.
Yeah, Tribe have been playing absolutely like they want to win this one, and you know, again, Trovo Mayhem doing everything they can to avoid being down 100 points at this point, but a slight break coming through for the Trovo Mayhem, and just as I say that, Tribe get wiped a little bit more as well. Tectonic just putting up crazy numbers for the team right now. 27, almost 10 kills over anybody else on the team. And only one behind Bolu, tied with Vague, 2 above Jez. So again, if one other person could be having the performance that Tectonic is having right now, this could be a totally different game. Not necessarily saying that that's going to be the win for Trovo Mayhem, but they could at least be in a situation where they're not down 120 points.
Yep, Jesus Saves You finally ends the streak for Marshy up toward the top of jungle right there, and Tribe now grouping up once again. Smoke starting to go out. They're looking to make the push. Jesus Saves You going to drop off. Little B and company still down on the point. 3 of those OG Tribe members. He's going to be able to win a crucial gunfight right there. Immediately beamed off the point, though. Leon finds a crucial one to maintain pool control right here. Bolu making the rotation on through, but he's going to be able to win his gunfight as well. Tectonic been chilling on the point for a while, not finding a whole lot of kills, but finding some crucial assists for his team. He's going to continue to hold. Nero holding the inside of Cubby right there. They're finding some more time. Slowly but surely chipping away at that lead. It was previously, I think, upwards of 100 points, and now dwindling down to, if I'm doing my math right, 60, 75. So they've been able to get it down a little bit, and Tectonic, I just don't know how he wins those close-range gunfights with the LK-24, but he's making it happen, and they're able to get a pretty solid hold right there as Tectonic set up for P5.
Yeah, and they've at least gotten themselves into the point department of not joining, as you called it, the 100 club, I think?
The 100-point club?
100-point club, so... unfortunate timing for Nero to call in the Pred missile that he had there. Got trophy systemed out, and he did die as he, for some reason, like basically right in the middle of kitchen, decided is when he wanted to use that. Tribe making the rotation over, they're holding points. 10 points away from picking up the win here. Again, Trovo Mayhem have closed the gap pretty significantly, but not quite enough, as it looks like Tribe are going to win this one. Nero tried to get his body on point, but was unable to get the stall, and the 250 to 180 win is going to go over to Tribe.
Yep. Just too strong of a start for Tribe right there. It was a really solid, I mean, basically following the first rotation, Trovo Mayhem did a really good job. They had a good hold on P1. They got broken a little bit too easily on P2, but maintained the contest on P3, good hold on P4. And things just fell apart a little bit too quickly on P5. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Molly's here. Ah, hi.
Are you just casting still?
Yes, I'm casting.
Oh, where's the dog?
She's in her crate.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have to pee, and then I'm really tired, so I might go lay down.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Sorry that I skipped you.
It's all right.
LOL. I thought you didn't see me, and I was
I didn't see you.
I know, but I had to do it just in case.
Okay.
It'll be over soon. We're in the last matchup. She can have you after that.
Okay. Whew. That was, I just had a freaking heart attack. I was talking, and then I looked over, and there's a person there, and I was like, ah! Anyway,
I'll have to catch that
definitely
on stream.
a really good game for Tribe in that, I mean, Bolu just went in 37 kills right there. In total, 37 and 20 alongside a minute 51 on the hill. Marshy not quite as positive, but a good amount of hill time for him as well. Same for Vague, same for Hex. Just really everybody with really good hill time, and I think that's a lot of what it came down to, is Leon going pretty negative and only 22 seconds on the hill. If you're going to play that outside Slayer role, you definitely you got to be slaying, you know? So we'll see if Trovo Mayhem can bounce back in the search and destroy. Also, for those of you who didn't know, the new episode of Bobby Talks is up. It's actually featuring two of these players, Tectonic and Bolu. So if you guys want to go check that out on the COD Mobile Esports channel, that's where it'll be. Or if you want to wait till the game's done, you can wait till then and go check it out there as well.
Hopefully we'll be getting into the second game between these two teams. Obviously it'll be Search and Destroy. I'm forgetting what map it's going to be on, but let's take a peek and see. Looks like Meltdown. So I actually think there's a bit of potential here for the side of Trovo Mayhem, because we've talked about this map a lot, Bobby, where A and B are just vastly different strategies for what typically works and doesn't. The team with the stronger sniper presence, typically speaking, has a little bit more benefit going B. And just looking at the KDs across the board for Little B and Bolu, who's typically the primary sniper now for Tribe, it's Bolu at a 1.6 for Search, and we have Little B up at a 1.74. So you want to give the edge to Trovo Mayhem in that department, but again, Tribe have just played as such a tight-knit and well-organized team, both last season and this season, that it is certainly a difficult one to break. Another key Search and Destroy member for Tribe to point out is Jez with a 1.76 KDA for Search, followed up by Marshy at a 1.25. So you can see the half-point jump there from Marshy up to Jez. So great Search season for Jez. His first matchup of this season was a big 14-5-2. So gonna be a difficult game for Trovo Mayhem one way or another, but again, I think they stand a little bit of a chance of pushing us into a game 3, and they need it right now. They at least need the 5.
Yeah,
5 or here would be a good cushion for them.
Yeah, running things very, very tight next to Shreddit right now, so we'll see what they can pull out in the Search and Destroy. Obviously, having your primary sniper, always a plus, as we do have Little B right there, going to be filling that role for them. Typically, Bolu has been the primary sniper throughout this season. We saw him struggle a little bit in a couple of the past games, and at some point, I think Jez actually pulled it out, so it'd be interesting to see if that continues, or if Bolu picks it back up to see if he can go head-to-head against his old teammate. Just waiting for one player to ready up for Tribe, and then we should be good to go for game number 2. Could potentially be the last one of the night. We are all ready to go, it looks like, and should be hopping in momentarily. Also, we haven't seen the
I was just about to mention that.
yet, I don't
Yeah,
think.
just about to mention that. But, yep, none of that, and don't see a ton of pistols overall in competitive in the first place. They're kind of like the desperate, oh crap, I'm out of ammo and that person is one hit gun, So.
Yep.
Yep. I personally love running around with just a pistol in Call of Duty.
I feel like it's more likely that we'll see it in Search and Destroy, just with AR or with sniper players,
Snipers,
obviously
yep.
getting into stickier situations. But we also saw a pretty good amount of deagle encounters in that matchup. So based on that, I've got a feeling we're probably not going to see it tonight. But who knows? Maybe somebody will pull it out and pistol whip somebody in the face. We do have Trovo Mayhem en route over to the B side, and lots of utility going to go ahead and go out right there. No trophy systems right here. Nero going to go ahead and shoot both of those cryo bombs, laying down some shots, and not able to get the kill. It's going to be Leon getting first blood. Gets Jez as well. Marshy able to take out Tectonic, and Leon will drop just like that. It's a 3v3. Jesus saves, finding Marshy. Players dropping left and right, and seems like none of them are the ones that I'm spectating. And I think that was Vague shooting bodies right there. Pressure on for Jesus saves to try to clutch up right here. Obviously, he's got eyes on the bomb, and he's going to go ahead and pick it up. That should give Tribe information. I'm not sure. I assumed that they knew where the bomb was down, but they didn't really have any eyes on it. He's going to be able to pick up the sniper right there. That's going to be an easy frag onto Bolu, and now he finds himself in a 1v1. We'll see whether or not the body shooting comes back to bite Vague in the butt, but he's got the bomb in hand en route to the B site. Vague could potentially hear some footsteps right here. He doesn't really have a whole lot of time to work with. We do see the plant going in over on the B site, and the engagement will ensue right here. Vague on the top side. He's got the high ground. He's going to be able to win the gunfight. A little additional body shooting. Hey, there's the Renetti. I was wondering when somebody was going to pull it out.
Not for the use we intended it to be, but
that's a lot of body shooting. That just feels excessive. That just feels excessive at that point. 3 kills first round for Vague, though. Definitely a solid start to the game.
Yeah, Vegas had a pretty solid season, and you definitely expect there to be some body shooting rivalry between these two teams because Vague came from Trovo Mayhem last season / the beginning of this season. So, you know, it's all in good fun, you know?
Yeah. We do have a little bit of a different push right here. I think that might have been a spectator glitch, and interestingly enough, both teams trying to make the push on into A right here. Kind of backfires for Leon as he gets first blooded off the start. Nero going to be able to get the plant onto B. Trovo Mayhem looking to hold off the retake from Tribe. We do have the sniper in the hand of Jez. Little B with the sniper of his own. Trying to get up into the nest right here. See if he can find anybody. Oh, just bad timing. Not able to land the headshot over the heady onto Bolu. And I believe a Semtek's going to go ahead and go out. He is going to find Bolu on the follow-up shot. Vague right down below. A little bit does not seem to know. And the bomb defuse, it looks like, is actually going to go in for Marshy. As Tectonic not going to be able to get there in time. And Tribe takes the 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Tribe off to a great start here in Search and Destroy, especially off of their pretty commanding win in Hardpoint. I mean, there was definitely signs of life and big moments, as you mentioned earlier, specifically in the second rotation of Hardpoints. We had some big plays coming out of Trovo Mayhem, but you know, hopefully we'll see them turn things around a little bit here. Typically the underdog is going to have more of a leeway to win the offensive side. So with Tribe being up 2-0 currently, it's a great position for them to be in. We do have the bomb plant now, and it is still a 5 versus 5. Just as I say that, Trovo Mayhem actually picking up kills left and right, and this is going to be the first round now going over to Trovo Mayhem. And you know, they needed that. They desperately needed that.
Yeah, that was actually a really phenomenal play from Jesus Saves You. So he was set up right behind the dumpster outside the entry to A. Nobody had any idea he was there, so he's not only able to get the initial frag, but also the major assist on the next player, and that definitely made the push a lot easier to handle for Trovo Mayhem, as they do, as you said, get a much-needed round right here. Marshy's going to be right around the corner. He gets the frag on to Jesus Saves You. The bomb plant going to go in for Trovo Mayhem, but they didn't have a whole lot of luck preventing the retake from Tribe previously. We do see Leon on a big-time flank right here. I love this move for him. He's able to get some information, sees Jez up top of mid. Going to be able to rotate on through and potentially get some angles on other players as well. It is Tribe. Oh, they've got no idea. But he doesn't go for the flank. Wow. Okay, no, now he is going to go for the flank. You just keep psyching me out right here. They don't seem super confident in their strategy, but this could be... Oh, but he gives away his location. Takes out Hacks right there. Bolu's on the bomb. All he's got to do is play time. It looks like he's done it to perfection. Bolu's going to be able to get the kill, but he doesn't have enough time to get the defuse. What a play. What a flank for Leon. And that's going to let Trovo Mayhem even things up at 2-2.
Yeah, and they realistically need to get this third round win here while they're on offense. It gives them that one extra round of cushion. Because again, typically speaking, your edge as the quote underdog team is going to be on offensive search and destroy because you can dictate where your entire team goes. Whereas on defense, you typically have to be split at least to some degree so that your team can make callouts if the rotation is over to the other bomb. So that again can be a sniper going over towards B, as well as it could be a mid-team rotation. But A is really hard to break on a Meltdown if the bomb is planted and it's a 5v5. So again, that's kind of why a lot of times you'll see a player split off each one way or another. Leon sees a couple people climbing up there and decides, nope, that's not the gunfight I want to take.
We do have a big kill going in, couple kills going in for Tribe's going to even to 3v3.
Oh, Leon, no! Oh, no!
Oh, no. Tectonic staying alive right here. Nero's alive as well, but just barely. Jez going to be the only one alive. Last player eliminated once again. Trovo Mayhem able to close out 3 rounds in a row. That's going to be really, really big for them following a slow start. But like you said, this is going to allow Tribe to dictate the pace of the game. Now, whether or not Trovo Mayhem is going to know what that push is going to be, we'll have to see. But it looks like it's going to be a full-on A push off the start. Leon going to go ahead and push mid. Tectonic waiting. He's going to take out Jez. Couple entry frags, but Tectonic is there. But unfortunately, Littleby going to be left all by himself in a 1v2 against Vague, and Hax playing this as slowly as he possibly can. Kind of hoping that Hax peeks that corner, but he's not going to find him yet. Oh, and the COD. Oh, but he still hit the shot!
What?
The COD timing didn't even matter! I don't understand how he hit that. Vague now in the top side. Littleby trying to find him. And Vague's actually on the flank right now. I don't think Littleby has any idea. He's probably going to have an idea with nobody here on the bomb site. And that is a really big brain plague for Vague, as that's going to allow Tribe to even things up at 3v3. But what a shot for Littleby.
Yeah, that was a little more than 10% luck.
I don't even understand how it hit.
It was through the wall, clearly. It gave him the wall bang, so it clipped the edge even. But, man, that was... I'm glad we got to witness it, at least.
Yeah. We do see Littleby with the
boy,
Renetti
big
out
open
right
kill.
there, so we at least get to see it in play a little bit. Marshy's going to find first blood onto Tectonic. With the way that he's been playing, that's not
got
a
Nero with
great
the nade.
sign. And trying to lay down some shots inside a boiler room. Can't find the frag, but 2 kills on the board already for Tribe. And the entry into A site is pretty clean. Littleby holding down the bottom side. Hoping he can maybe find eyes on somebody through that manhole cover. But he's kind of stuck right now with the bomb going down. The pressure is on. He's going to have to wait on the SMGs to make a move right here, and they're all waiting on off angles. Obviously, the entry not going to be easy. Jez going to spot him right there. Littleby not able to hit the quick scope. It's going to be all down to Jesus Saves You in a 1v4, and up against a Tribe team with the bomb down, it's not going to be too likely. Marshy wins the big gunfight right there. Just like that, Tribe's able to retake the lead at 4-3.
Yep, and... You know, again, you'd like to see a little bit more advantage over to the side of Trovo Mayhem in the offensive half, but they weren't able to find enough to give them a comfortable cushion. It is 4-3. It's still definitely doable. Littleby misses one of his shots there, but Leon gets a 1-for-1 trade. Jez, and it's all of a sudden everybody on Tribe is dead.
All right. Well, that I was watching Jesus Saves You, so I don't even know what happened right there, but
Everybody died very fast.
Yup, that was some quick deaths right there. Trovo Mayhem bouncing back pretty quickly right there, as it looks like they've started to read the strategies of Tribe a little bit better, and if they can continue that, could end up being around 11, as we do once again have Tribe trying to make the push. It looks like a little bit more passive this time, kind of sitting back in mid, waiting for a first blood to go in. They got 4 SMGs and an AR, so not going to be able to find any sniper picks. We do see Tectonic just barely staying alive right there after he gets the frag onto Marshy. Jesus saves, gets Vague as well. Bolu trades out right here. Tectonic not able to win the gunfight, though. Trovo Mayhem finds himself at a disadvantage once again. Bolu hops up. Jesus saves, you can't win the gunfight. It's Little B in a 1v3 now. Bolu, 12 kills on the board, carrying this team time and time again. Little B forced to be on the defensive. He's going to be able to make his way up into boiler rooms and could potentially find a shot if he gets the right angle. It's not going to be easy to deal with, though. He sees the laser from Hacks right over the top of the edge and actually hears the SMG shots, but not going to be able to do anything about it. Jez going to throw the nade over top. Not quite enough, but the cryo bomb goes in, and now Little B really caught between a rock and a hard place. Bolu reading this like a book right now. Little B gets a hit marker. That is heartbreaking. And now Tribe Gaming 1 round away from closing this out.
Oh, that hurts so much to see the hit marker there. I don't know if he would have had time to clutch it up, but almost another really nutty shot coming out of Little B there. As you mentioned, Bolu absolutely rocking it right now. 13 kills on the board for this madman, and it's starting to look pretty darn good for Tribe. They only need to win 1 out of the next potentially 2 rounds. We'll have to see if Trovo Mayhem are able to pull enough together here to tie things up. I'd love to see a game 3 between these two teams, even though I think Tribe wins the domination. More numbers, more fun, more excitement. So we will see. It looks like we have the B side rotation getting committed to by the side of Tribe, even if it's ever so slowly.
Little B just threw the world's worst concussion nade. Tried to get it into boiler room, and he just threw it at the feet of Tectonic. He is going to be able to peek right there around the corner, and I think Tectonic saw the laser coming out of the room, so he knows he's got to deal with something. But 3 kills go in immediately for Tribe, and that is going to spark disaster. I mean, we've seen Tectonic clutch 1v4s before, but it's not against teams like this. He's going to be able to find the first, but can't find the second. And it's going to be Tribe Gaming closing out the second game as well. A 2-0 victory for them to guarantee the 20 points and maintain that top spot in the standings.
Yeah, I think Tribe are pretty much going to be locked into their first place spot at this point. Especially, they do have a bye on Tuesday of next week, but then they do play Eleventy, who has had some good games, but also some struggles, and even bouncing back after that loss against Zygnus Esports, Tribe has looked good time and time again. So you imagine that Tribe would have the edge there. So they will likely be getting their first place locked in. But still plenty of really exciting games ahead of us next week, so you guys definitely don't want to miss those. But Tribe winning the 2-0 here is going to close things out for the night. Bolu with a pretty monstrous 14 kills on the board there. Vague kind of far behind marginally, or comparatively at least, with 9. So definitely a pretty big carry from Bolu. Tectonic did his best both in the hardpoint as well here in the search and destroy. 11 and 6 for him, but not enough to carry his team on through.
Yep, that is going to be it for tonight's action. I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys enjoyed, please do me a favor. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, follow. Couple things you guys need to know about. Tomorrow, I am going to be hosting a $10,000 COD Mobile tournament alongside NYSL. Basically, 50 YouTubers in a Battle Royale. It's going to have a lot of people you guys are going to recognize. Parker the Slayer, Noah from YouTube, Godsley, Hawk's Nest, and a lot of other really big creators. So I'm looking forward to it. That will be on both Trovo and on YouTube, so definitely make sure you guys check that out. Also, the second episode of Bobby Talks up on the COD Mobile Esports channel. If you mods could spam the link for that in chat, that would be fantastic. That is featuring Tectonic, Bolu, and Maralto talking about COD M Champs NA from last year and talking about what's going to happen this year as well. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, Make sure to drop a like, subscribe. As always, thanks to Day, thanks to our admins, thanks to our mods, thanks to our players, and we will catch you guys in the next one.